Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
BoxingVoice.com.
What broke him down? Was it just the body punching? I was hitting him with body punching. I heard him actually, he was crying there. You were saying that Gibbs was crying when you hit him? Yes. When did that happen? And perhaps the fourth round on.
BoxingVoice.com.
So that you knew you had him by that time. Absolutely, but I knew he was tough and taking those punches.
Productions.
Making women gestures like,
Let's go, champ. It's the champ. It's the champ. With the fake champ.
BoxingVoice.com. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Thursday night edition of the Boxing Voice. We're going to be bringing you a lot. We're going to be bringing you 2 live guests. This is Ladies' Night, and the feeling's right. Oh, what a night. We're going to have promoter, ex-champion, slash, I guess now she's a promoter, right? Christy Martin, everyone's most notable female champ outside of Layla Ali. We'll also have another young up-and-coming Mexican female boxer. We'll have to get a Monster Piece on the pronunciation of that one. But then we'll be talking a little Ricky Burns. Ricky Burns unifying with the IBO and the IBF as he puts his version of the WBA title on the line. All these trinkets are on the line, which can possibly entice Terence Bud Crawford. So a very, very important fight in the 140-pound division. 3 out of 5 titles in that division will be on the line Saturday night as Ricky Burns attempts to unify the division and become really the most relevant person in there outside of, or not named, Terence Crawford, right? But it would be arguable if Burns wins this and has 3 titles. It will be arguable. Listen, don't get me wrong. Terence Crawford is a unified 140-pound champ as well because he has the WBO and the WBC that he lifted from Victor Postal. We'll also be talking Matthew, a.k.a. the Hipster Hunter's favorite fighter, Sullivan Barrera, the Cuban assassin. He's back in action versus Paul. Pay-per-view. Parker. Yo, it was almost impossible to find a picture on this guy 3 hours ago. About 30 minutes ago, Main Event sent me a whole roll of him. He's actually a lot taller than Barrera, but, height and reach sometimes proves not to be much in boxing. We also have a very nice little appetizer to Saturday night's main events in Friday on Showbox with Bivol versus Clarkson. Clarkson, someone that his name was tossed around to get in there with Andre Ward at one point when the whole Barrera and Alexander Brand names were being tossed around for HBO. This was an HBO approved fighter that, according to the media, Virgil might have turned down. He has a few losses, Clarkson does, but he definitely has turned it around. And I watched him live, upset. I don't want to say Jamal. That sounds almost wrong. I feel like it's Gerald. Larry. Ooh, fuck, Odom. His last name is Odom. We'll find out. Oh my God, this is like a hipster's delight show, right? I mean, you can tell Matt is on the show, is heavily influenced. He finally got his boy to get some shine on the 5 topics on a Thursday fucking night. It is the debut of Jezreel Corrales on Boxing Voice, the true 130-pound WBA champion. I know some believe Sosa was, but he was the regular Title is, this is the super WBA champion, Jezreel Corrales. He signed a multiple year deal with Golden Boy Promotions. So you will be seeing this guy on your television, possibly ESPN, now that Golden Boy has that deal, possibly HBO. I don't know. Then we got a whole bunch of other headlines. We have to talk to PBC and the fact that Spike pulled the plug on him, or they pulled the plug on Spike. We will find out. Let's head on over to the Golden State, to the always faithful
Dolly Biasi production.
This is a beautiful performance against a very tough guy in Michael Clarkson. How do you feel about it?
Fuck that. Conor McGregor.
Boxingvoice.com.
You know me, Larry. From a wicked entrance, from a flip over the rock into a knockout. When
Boxingvoice.com.
Yes, the Hipster is back for another Thursday main show of TBV. And, my boy, you said Sullivan Barrera. Come on, Julius Indongo's fighting this weekend. I was the only person that I know of in this entire world, other than maybe Ghana from where he's from, that picked Julius Indongo to beat Eduard Troyanovsky to get that IBF strap. So I'm not going to say like I'm a prophet or anything like that, but man, I saw into the future and saw that this kid is good. And I may see into the future again for this fight. And I can't wait to delve into that, break it down, and make my picks. And plus, break into the topic of PBC Spike. That's a huge news. And plus, we got Jezreel Corrales signing with Golden Boy Promotions. I think that's going to line up several big fights for him.
Yeah, man. I mean, let's start with, I guess, your boy, Julius, right? I mean, take the lead. You picked this guy out of the lineup a couple of fights ago when he did go to, what was it, Russia or Moscow to fight Eduard Troyanovsky, knocked him out in the first round and really made a dent in that 140-pound division, lifting, Troyanovsky's title and unifying with the IBO that is known more as a South African title, so it would be understandable why a Guyanese guy would have it, right? But talk to us. Tell me.
Well, I mean, simply put, Julius Indongo is a guy, I like to call him a darter. He's a guy on his toes, and he's darting in and out looking for that single shot. And as a southpaw, he has a powerful left hand. And obviously that's the shot that put down Eduard Troyanovsky, and also the shot that put down a lot of other guys. He has around a 50-something% knockout rate. And I think that he's a guy that's really going to pressure Ricky Burns when Ricky Burns is staying there with his hands up. And I think if Ricky Burns sets the pace, tries to set that jab up, he's going to get caught with shots because Ricky Burns has a tendency to lean his head straight back to evade shots. And since Julius Indongo has the longer reach, he's the taller guy, he's quicker, heavier hitter, I see him just catching Ricky Burns as Ricky Burns is overextended on that head movement. And I feel like Julius Indongo might be the first guy to finish Ricky Burns. Plus, Ricky Burns also has the X factor of the rare and tear. The guy has a 15-year career already in this game at the highest level. So, I mean, eventually that's going to come around and bite you in the ass, especially in terms of your chin. Your chin is going to wear down eventually. We've seen tons of high-level guys with elite chins in combat sports eventually get broken down where their chin was just gone. Ricky Burns has never been finished, and he's been hit by devastating hitters. And Julius Indongo is another devastating hitter. Is this the time that Ricky Burns is going to go down? I think so. I'm picking Julius Indongo by the 7th round KO.
Well, wasn't that a mouthful? I'm telling you. Ricky Burns. I don't even know what to think of Burns. So long ago. I mean, I could be heard on older podcasts in my snobby opinion of the Rickster. He's come a long way, though. He's been in there with some decent opposition, but he has a lot of close ones, you know. And Terence Crawford really outclassed him in his hometown. He lost to Zlatian, who Mikey Garcia iced. Some believe that he beat Omar Figueroa, but you know, I could be called this is those times where people say I contradict myself, but because sometimes it might be a close fight where I cry robbery or something like that, you know? But this is one of those close fights where it's like you needed to do more than to leave it in the hands of the judges. But Omar Figueroa was a big guy. The weight changed and everything. So, you know, really you can't take anything away from Burns. And again, like I said, people thought he won. But after that Omar Figueroa fight, that one seemed to be the one where the whispers started about possible retirement. And then all of a sudden, the names that he started to fight, we never heard of. You know, he stood across the pond and built himself slowly back into position, and he won this vacant title when obviously Adrian Broner didn't make the weight versus Ashley Theophane. And you know, in stepped Ricky Burns versus how do you even pronounce this guy's name? Kyrell Relic?
Sure, close enough.
You know, that is how he got this belt. But there is, I guess, a silver lining, right? If he somehow upsets the Hipster, because we need to check the betting lines. Who's the favorite on the betting lines? Hipster. If he somehow upsets the Hipster, there's, I guess, that last big fight that he rides off into the sunset versus Terence Crawford. It's a fight that they already did. Terence already went to his hometown. It would be done again, a division above. And truly, if he were able to win this Indongo fight to unify the division, you know, who would argue with Crawford or, you know, Burns making that fight again? I'm sure Crawford would still be a heavy favorite, but I think a unification of that magnitude, if Crawford's willing to go across the pond again, probably could be really big. What do you think about that? I mean, you know, Crawford being a guy that already went to the United Kingdom, it didn't help him much when it was time to sell some pay-per-views with Victor Postal.
True, but also very quickly, the betting lines, I can at oddshark.com, which has a bunch of different lines on a bunch of different websites. They're very reputable. The most disparaging odds, I see Ricky Burns as a -286 favorite and Julius Indongo at a +203 underdog. I would say bet some money on Julius Indongo. I'm going to look very quickly for any prop bets on by knockout or anything like that.
Yeah, there you go. See, because the Hipster thinks this Indongo guy is so good, but, you know, there are some people out there that base their opinions versus the people that you have fought in. And this Eduard Troyanovsky fight, it could easily be categorized as a flash knockout. He caught him cold. Those are the words that we use in boxing. So we really have to see more of Mr. Julius. But moving on to another Hipster topic, Sullivan Barrera is being granted some HBO Latino action versus a guy that you can't even find a picture on Google about 3 hours ago. Probably now, since, you know, they've emailed most publications with the press conference photos for this fight. But I never heard of Paul Pay-Per-View Parker. Have you?
I mean, I've seen some of his fights because he's fighting this weekend, so I had to do some tape study on him.
Where'd you find?
I've only seen one fight, and that's because PBC put out a full fight.
Well, there you go. So he's a PBC guy.
He was on PBC. I don't know if he's a PBC guy.
I don't know. You sure Paul Parker? Because I read.
I'm sure.
All right. Well, based on what I read, sounds like you might be fibbing. This guy has no manager, nor does he have any promoter. and he's very thankful to main events, but he's never worked with anyone. He's done it the hard way, he says.
I'll find you the link for the people.
That's where the pay-per-view comes. He said, man, I did it the hard way. I'm Paul pay-per-view. So what if he upsets Barrera? What if he truly shows that he is pay-per-view worthy and he goes in there and he ices Barrera, a guy that's been in there with Andre Ward, Shabransky, you know? He's kind of regarded, right? We look at Barrera and we know he's not Ward Kovalev level, but he's good enough to give you that test. And who knows, any given night, it won't be Ward. He'll be not being, counted with the same hand that he blocked with. I'm sure Ward won't allow him to do that, but who knows, I mean, he's a little wide, this guy. But, I mean, look, we'll see what this Paul Parker is all about. Some other 175-pound fighters will be happening and taking place in Friday night on Showbox. Do you know anything about Samuel Clarkson and this new Russian everyone's talking about? This guy, Bivol, he definitely has a lot of
well, I mean, do you want me to give my my breakdown and pick on Barrera Parker, or do you want to just skip my perception on that fight?
No, not at all. Not at all. I just thought it was evident that you were gonna pick.
Well, it is evident. I'm gonna pick Sullivan Barrera.
I'm only joking. I'm only joking.
I'm gonna pick Sullivan Barrera. I mean, Paul Parker's only 8-1. His one loss is by knockout. That concerns me with the guy that hits as hard as Sullivan Barrera. But Paul Parker is a 6'1" light heavyweight. He's super long, super reach. He has that super long reach as well. And I can see him giving Barrera trouble with the jab, be on the back foot. He has a good right straight. So that could give Barrera some issues since he's not the most technical boxer when he's coming in on the inside. But Barrera has the better power. He has the better chin. So I think that this is going to be a mid-fight TKO.
Damn. Counting Mr. Pay-Per-View out. Well, I'm definitely picking Barrera. The Indongo fight, I'm just not sure just yet. I don't know, man. Yeah, that wasn't enough rounds for me. And I couldn't find anything notable. But what about this Showbox? What do you think about this one?
I think this should be either a showcase of Bivol. Bivol's either going to come in there and look like the stud that we all think he is, because he is a superior offensive fighter than Clarkson. But I think that a guy like Samuel Clarkson is a really tough boxer. He's really durable. He's not the greatest. I would compare it to more like a guy like Jason Sosa, that blue collar sort of boxer. And I think that if Bivol is really what we think he is, then he should wash him. But I don't know if he is that, because I think that Bivol has some defensive issues that concern me. He walks on the center line forward and backward way too much. His head movement's lacking. He's overall just a stiff fighter. But when he puts punches together, it is something to watch because every punch has power. He has a great check hook, great jab, great right straight. And he's very good at using body work to set up shots to the head for knockout shots. So I think that Bivol could be something in the division. He's only, I believe, 8-0 right now. So it's something. It's one of those wait and sees. I don't know what he will be at one point, but he looks good right now, and I think this should be a good fight for him, an easy fight for him. I think a mid fight finish for him is probably similar to like Sullivan Barrera. These should be showcases for them.
Yeah, Mr. Dmitry. I never heard of him outside of press releases. I've been getting a few. I know the publicist that works with him. He's from St. Petersburg, which is funny, right? But not the home of Thurman. There's a St. Petersburg in Russia. I do know his manager too, Vadim. Vadim is the manager of Ruslan Pavatnikov. usually has, and Victor Postal, right? Works closely with Klimas. That is the manager of Sergey Kovalev as well. Two different people though. So I mean, they obviously have an eye for talent, but Clarkson is upset minded. I don't know if this is too soon. I think that Dmitry Bivol is still trained by like his hometown trainer, or something, Gennady Mashinov, something like that. So you know, that's cool too, because Lomachenko was trained by his dad. There's been plenty of guys that stuck with their amateur trainer. But I don't know. Nothing really sticking out. No barometer fight from here to Clarkson. So I guess this is his step up, so to say. And I haven't been privy to any of these fights that he has fought. And I know he's fought on Ring TV, I think, once or twice. But come on, I mean, you know, I didn't even know. So I'm not going to pick Clarkson, even though I'm thinking upset all the way. Okay. I'm just going to sit on the sideline and watch it. But Clarkson he's no joke. They could have caught him, you know, not necessarily in shape, maybe coming off of a layoff, probably. Like I said, the last time I seen him fight, he fought Jerry Odom. That was in Bethlehem, PA. And, you know, that was back in 2015. He only had 2 fights last year in 16, and that last one was in December. So, you know, not that bad of a layoff if he stood in shape. So we're going to have to see. I don't know. But tell me about your guy, Jezreel Corrales. How excited are you that Golden Boy picked him up? The possibilities, obviously, at 130, you know, there is the obvious big fight for Golden Boy would be to put him in there with guys like Linares, right? No, Linares at 35. So that means guys like Gamboa is really all they have at 30, Golden Boy, right?
Now, does Golden Boy have Miguel Berchelt?
They have Berchelt, right? Or an option on Berchelt, and then they have Francisco Vargas. They might have some sort of option on Salido, right? Or is that Top Rank still? Who knows?
No. I don't think Salido is with Golden Boy, but I could be wrong. But yeah, I think it's great news for Jezreel Corrales, who's with more of a third party promoter and really fighting a lot in Japan and such. So I think this is the best of both worlds for him. He's in a bigger, more North American promoter, and plus they have really big names in their stable. You know, if he went out there and beat a Gamboa and a Berchelt, that would be huge for his legacy. So I think this is all good news for him. Do I think he wins those fights? I don't know yet. I think Jezreel Corrales is a really talented boxer.
Whoa. As much as you've been bigging this guy up, you don't know if he wins any of those fights?
When Berchelt destroyed Francisco Vargas, that completely changed my perception of the division. So he's the enigma. If he can get past Berchelt, then Corrales is the real deal. But right now, I'm just like, I don't know if he can get past that guy. Now, I most likely will favor Corrales over a guy like Gamboa due to Gamboa's age and such. But that's still a tough fight for him.
But this is also Lomachenko's division. He's the kingpin in this one if he sticks around.
Lomachenko beats them all, though. That's my opinion. That's always been my opinion. Do I think Corrales and Berchelt give him really tough fights? Absolutely. I think they give him probably his toughest fights of his career outside of that Salido loss. But I still favor Lomachenko against all of them.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be interested. I wonder who would they give him first as like, you know, test the waters. And is he going to go straight to ESPN? Seems like a pretty big name. He's a super champion. Do they waste him on ESPN or do they give him some sort of I mean, I haven't seen Golden Boy on HBO, regular HBO, right? What was that Lemieux Stevens fight? That was regular HBO. That had to be like championship or after dark.
I forget if it was World Championship Boxing or After Dark, but I think that was the last Golden Boy card on HBO because the Jason Quickly card that was on ESPN, obviously, and plus the ESPN deal for Golden Boy isn't on the main ESPN channel. It's on ESPN2. So that's a concern. I wouldn't put Corrales on there if I'm them, unless I'm really trying to capitalize on that deal to get a bigger deal later down. You would put big champions, bigger names on the card to hopefully spike up the ratings.
Actually, I got a name for you. What was it? Mura? Was that
Yeah, but Berchelt's fighting Mura.
So they wasted him already. Well, they still probably could do some business with Salido, but I don't know. Do you want to throw Jezreel in there?
Oh, hell yeah.
Salido?
Hell yeah. I think that's a very winnable fight for Corrales.
If he gets in there and he pummels through Salido, he could instantly start to call out Lomachenko for his big money fight at the very least.
Yes, but like Corrales already sort of ducked a fight with Lomachenko, so I don't know how eager he is to set up that fight. This could be an angling to have him and Berchelt fight.
I don't know if I would say he ducked the fight. I mean, when you're not signed to a big name promoter that can take care of you financially in those type of negotiations, yeah, you might want to just let that opportunity pass you by because guess what? I bet you it's back on the table now. I bet you that Golden Boy and Top Rank will have to do business for a unification. I bet you that HBO would drop both of those promoters' emails saying, hey, you guys got pretty interesting 130-pound champions. Let's see what we can do. Because, the networks, they dictate. These promoters, these TV packagers, they can only do that. Package the fight and hope that the network buys it. But the network, when it comes to Gennady Golovkin, they have denied a lot of his opponents, unfortunately for Golovkin, because the demand for good fights from him is so high. But I've had conversations with Abel Sanchez where, he says he's approved 15 guys, at one time, and all those names be denied by HBO. So it gets difficult. They, even though sometimes they put on the easy fights, right? But sometimes they say no, especially with those tight budgets. But we're talking headlines, and what's making some big news in the Twitter sphere is the Spike television deal that existed with Premier Boxing Champions has come to a conclusion. It's over, Matt. No more Amir Khan, Chris Algieri on Spike. No more Christoph Glowacki, Marco Huck from the Prudential Center in Newark live on Spike.
No Laura Foreman.
The naysayers are quick to say, oh, the PBC, they're failing. Spike pulled out. But last time I checked, every time Spike released viewership, it was big numbers, right? I mean, I know that they have done the work for us in the article that we're probably both using to discuss this. But I remember big numbers coming from Spike. Even their last show, right? Which that many people expected wouldn't do well because Islandri Lara was fighting Yuri Foreman, a guy that was basically coming or halfway out of retirement, right? And even those numbers were strangely high. But you're the producer. I don't know if you can find that. While I give the facts, as for those that don't know, Spike's commitment to Premier Boxing Champions is obviously over. They launched this basic cable network deal, which was promised to be at least 33 monthly cards, ended up not being anywhere near that many. There were 9 in 2015. There were 12 in 2016, and it lasted through 2017, which was, obviously isn't over. And yeah, it seems to be over. But what the network themselves are saying is, which is interesting to me and very promising, that they're willing to negotiate with anyone. And they're basically paraphrasing here, Matt. they're kind of on a fight by fight basis. They're willing to fight good. They're willing to buy good fights. And that doesn't just mean from Al Heyman and PBC. So that quote hopefully will land on the ears of Golden Boy and, Top Rank. And maybe we can finally see other networks use Spike, because Spike did good ratings. I remember, wasn't it like 1.5 for Amir Khan, Chris Algieri?
Well,
can you get some Spike ratings anyway?
Yeah, I can get those ratings very fast, but very quickly, just to go over some other facts. The Spike chairman also, hold on, let me get that very quickly. But he basically said to the effect that Spike is now focusing on Bellator MMA and Glory Kickboxing, which are other combat sports entities, which they've had for a longer duration of time than the Premier Boxing Championship deal. So that's not a shocker that they've decided we're going to put our combat sports budget into these two eggs and throw that other egg out.
Well, not only that.
That's what they did.
Well, not only that, though, Matt, because what the naysayers won't tell you, because it doesn't fit in 140 characters on Twitter, because that's where they're popular at, is that Bellator MMA is a Viacom company, which is Spike.
The owner of Spike, yes.
Exactly. So, why not invest?
Yeah,
If you own it, why not invest a little more?
It would be like HBO owning Top Rank.
Exactly. So, for the people that don't get that, it would be like HBO also owning Golden Boy and deciding, you know what, I'm not going to deal with, karate anymore. I'm just going to give Golden Boy more money and put more Golden Boy on Spike. So, but they did say they are willing to buy good fights. And from any promoter, how do you feel about that? And do you think that guys like Top Rank and Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy will bite on this quote? And maybe at least we get an article or two of the attempts of some sort of negotiations.
I think that Spike is always in the business of getting live combat sports rights. I think that they've had a history of that for going on over 12 years now. So this is nothing new for them. They know it's a moneymaker. They know they can drive in large ratings with this. And plus, it's not like Spike has a bunch of original content. Do you know of any groundbreaking TV shows on Spike that bring in millions of views? No. So this is basically Viacom's way of getting a lot of sports entities on the cheap end, usually because it's a Spike name brand. This isn't CBS. This isn't ABC. So the monetary amount they have to throw out to these promoters is less than a CBS or such. They weren't even paying into the 7 figures for these deals. They were paying to the 6-figure range to help out with costs. So I'm not going to be surprised if Spike has boxing later on, but I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see boxing on Spike for the next year.
No, I don't agree. Listen to the quote. Spike aired a PBC fight a few months back in January. We have a great relationship and running dialogue with Al and the PBC. Schwartz told ESPN, our focus is on Bellator right now, but if the right fight arises, we are all ears. So that sounds totally different than not wanting to do business, totally different than, cutting the plug. It just sounds like they want to buy what is fight worthy.
To me, it sounds like leaving the door open.
Yes.
And I wouldn't be surprised if this is more of a mutual thing than a Spike just not renewing the deal. Because I wouldn't be surprised if PBC or Al Heyman is shrinking at least some of the product down to save on costs. They blew through over $500 million.
I have a different theory about that, Matt.
No, hold on. I'm not saying they're doomed. I'm not saying that at all. Hold on. I'm just saying that that's smart business. If you're bleeding money in some way, shrink down the product a little bit, make it more efficient. And that's what they've been doing this year so far. His fighters and his product has been much more efficient. So I think this is just a smart move on both parties to leave this deal behind, because I don't see PBC being a Spike brand product. PBC needs a
Let me
one network
interrupt
deal.
you there, buddy. I'm sorry. I know I'm the phone jacker here, but we do have our first guest and co-producer on the line. Anna, what's going on?
I'm good, guys. I have to. It's excited.
So, who do you have on first?
This is Sulem Urbina.
And you're gonna translate?
Hi, guys. She speaks English.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
I speak good English.
Perfect. Well, obviously, we're kind of in the dark about much of the female boxing. You know, there's only a few big names. Right away, you want to match those names up, but there are so many different divisions. If you could just introduce yourself to our listeners and just let us know how at least you got into boxing and where you are now in your career.
Well, hi, everyone. My name is Sulem Urbina. I'm currently 4-0. I was an amateur boxer for the national team in Mexico. I competed for this last Olympic cycle, Central American Games, Pan American Games, and Olympic qualifiers. Unfortunately, I did not qualify. Now I turned pro, and I started boxing at the age of 10 years old because my family, it's a family of brawlers. So all my brothers boxed, and I was the only girl, and I stuck with it.
So now, what made you stick with boxing past amateurs, like turning into a pro, being as though that you don't see many female boxers really be able to take it to the heights that at least male boxers do? So what gives you the ambition and the drive to kind of stay as a pro?
Ever since I was 5 years old, my family and I came here to the United States to look for a brighter future. And I wasn't a U.S. citizen. I started boxing at 10, and I couldn't compete in any national tournament. I wasn't allowed to. And I decided to that was my dream, to one day be a pro and become a world champion. It was never really about the amateurs. As I went on, I progressed a lot, and I decided to leave and go to Mexico and compete for the Olympics, because that was a dream that was born later on. But for me, it was always about turning pro.
Now, talk to me about division. What division are you in? It's 112. What is that? 112, right?
That's a flyweight division. Yes.
Is it hard to get sparring? Oh my God. I feel like it's such a is it difficult for you to get sparring? I mean, or are you sparring men? Because I know we've interviewed Ava Knight, a few other females that eventually just have to spar guys in the gym because it's so difficult to get good sparring for females.
Honestly, it is very difficult, especially with us women. For some reason, sometimes we don't want to help one another. We try to compete a little too much, I think, and we don't get the benefits of sparring with other girls. But I do spar with young men that are around my size, my weight class, experienced amateurs. And I'm also fortunate that I have a few amateur girls that come around my gym and help me out with some sparring. So I'm blessed in that side. But yeah, most of the sparring is with young men that are about my size.
And most of your fights, or all of your fights, have taken place in Mexico. When are you going to make your American debut?
Well, I am signed with Sanford Promotions. They have Miguel Berchelt, who just fought Francisco Vargas not too long ago in January.
Yes, the current 130-pound champion.
I'm signed with that company. Yeah, I'm with that company. So most of their boxing is done in Mexico, and I do have a pretty big following in Mexico. So for now, I'm staying over there. Whenever it's possible for me to get a fight out here in California, we'll make it happen. I was supposed to fight on the Vargas Berchelt card, but my fight fell through. And for some reason, it's harder getting fights in the U.S. than in Mexico. So we'll just take it how it goes.
What sort of difficulties do you experience trying to get a fight in the U.S.?
Well, in the U.S., there's a lot less competition, I feel. Well, not a lot of those are in the pros in the U.S. Like in Mexico. In Mexico, you have so many female athletes that are hungry to fight you, and they don't care who you are. They'll step in the ring with you because they want to take your name. In the U.S., the pros aren't really as huge as they are in other countries. Like in Europe, women's boxing is huge. I think in the U.S., it's barely starting to grow.
So what is your plan to brand yourself and I guess to be that fighter to kind of bring some light to women's boxing?
I think my story is very unique. Like I said, I'm Mexican, and my dream along the amateurs was to go to the Olympics for Mexico, and I had a younger brother named Alexis Rubina who competed for Team USA, and both of us wanted to be the first brother and sister duo to compete in the Olympics. Unfortunately, my brother was killed at the young age of 17, 3 years ago. And it's something that I carry with me, and it's a story that I like to share. And it's a very unique story, and he's my biggest drive, because even though he's gone, I carry him with me, and people love seeing how even after everything that I've been through, I still keep going. So I think that just myself, I'm just unique. I'm different, and I have that heart to keep going, and I hope that I can make it.
So Sulem, you spoke about how unique you are. Tell us about your fighting style. For those that might not have seen you, just describe yourself a little, your fighting style a bit for those that might not have seen you, being as though your fights are all in Mexico.
I think I'm a boxer brawler. I have very good technique. I'm very light on my feet, but I also love to sit down and just brawl. At the end of the day, my advantage is that I can adjust to whatever fight I have to do. I can counter punch, I can outbox, or I can just brawl. So it's one of my advantages. I can adjust to whatever it is I need to do to win. And it's something that I learned throughout the amateurs.
So what are you training out of Phoenix?
Yes, I'm currently training out of Phoenix. I was in Mexico City for a very long time, but now I'm back here in Phoenix training with my hometown trainer, Andrew Soto.
Okay. So, because there's some boxing going on in Phoenix, not big, big cards, but definitely, within the Phoenix and Arizona community, there's definitely been some boxing coming back on there. I know this guy from TMT, Santiago. He signed to TMT, and he's from Arizona as well. Are there any other females in your division that are notable names that you can tell us about that can be possibly your rivals or your nemesis in the future? I know it's only 4-0, but
yeah. Well, Santiago was actually one of my teammates here in Arizona for a very long time. Boxing is definitely growing. We have Iron Boy Promotions putting on shows once every 2 months, so it's really big. I know I'm only 4-0, and all I can say is women's boxing, there's been a lot done. Layla McCarter has done a lot. Christy Martin has done a lot. All the past fighters have. Ana Maria Torres. But I think this is a turning era for us, because a lot of the amateurs that never turned pro are finally deciding to turn pro. You have Marlene Esparza signed with Golden Boy. You have Clovis Shields, 2-time Olympian. So I think this is a turning point for women's boxing. And I'm only 4-0, so there's not really any names. I'm just going as a fight given to me. That's what I'm going to work for. And only God knows how far I'll get. But I do believe that women's boxing is growing and it's gaining popularity.
Definitely getting popularity with names like Clarissa Shields and Katie Taylor. The problem is for the boxing fan to distinguish the division with that specific female boxer.
Well, I think that's something that needs to be done here in the U.S. because in Mexico, women's boxing is just huge. We have all female cards. I mean, I'm only 4-0, and all my fights have been televised. I think it's something that needs to be learned to be accepted a little more here in the U.S. And I believe it's starting to. I mean, Clarissa Shields, both her fights have been on Showtime, so it's something that's starting to grow, and people are going to start seeing it, and they're going to start loving it.
You know, promoter Lou DiBella has taken a big chance on women's boxing. He promotes Heather Hardy, and he's put her on a lot of Brooklyn Barkley cards. She's been able to build a big name for herself, and so have the Serrano sisters, who also come from New York City. You familiar with them? They're Puerto Rican.
Yeah, definitely. The Serrano sisters have been around for quite some time. Heather Hardy, and they've all been doing a great job. They step it up every single time they go into the ring.
What do you feel about that current ruling by the WBC that they said that they would never think about allowing women to fight past the 2-minute rounds? How do you feel about 2-minute rounds? You think it's unfair? You think you deserve to have that other minute to kind of, put a nice ass whooping on your opponent? Or you think it's fair to give you 2-minute rounds? Or are you an independent woman who feels, that it's kind of sexist to say that you can't fight for 3 minutes and men can?
I've actually had this conversation with the WBC. The WBC has explained to me that there's scientific reasons as to why they do it. Now, I'm not a scientist. I don't know any of that stuff. For me personally, I've been in the situation where I hurt somebody, but because the round is so short, it's over and they recover and then they make it to the end of the fight. So for me as a boxer, I always train 3 minutes. Everywhere you go, every gym, the timer's on 3 minutes. I'm used to 3 minutes. I spar 3 minutes. I would love for the ruling to be changed. I don't know exactly what it is that keeps us at 2 minutes. If it's actually just being sexist, or if it's, like they said, something scientifically proven that we shouldn't go more than 2 minutes. But me as a boxer, I would prefer fighting 3 minutes. It would mean there would be a lot more knockouts. It would be a lot more exciting for women's boxing, and I would like that.
All right, Sulem. So as a boxer, I want to ask you some advice, right? We have a couple of novice fighters with absolutely no amateur background. It's going to be non-sanctioned fights. They have 7 weeks to train. What is the best piece of advice you can give a person who has a fight in 7 weeks but's never thrown a punch?
Well, I think that if you're going to commit to something like that, you got to commit to it and do it right. 100%. You got to be 100% focused and learn as much as you can with that short amount of time. You got to be a sponge. You got to learn your basics really good and just be 100% focused, because that's extremely short time.
Exactly. Being as though it's so small, such a small window, what would you recommend be the main thing a person work on?
I think it would be best to work on getting your punches together with your feet, footwork, and maybe just working straight punches, simple combinations, not getting too fancy, but getting really basic things down right. Maybe sticking with the 1-2 and, knowing how to move side to side and stepping forward, stepping back. I think that would be the best thing to focus on, because 7 weeks is extremely a short amount of time. So, and obviously you got to be in shape.
My co-host here, he's in love with MMA. He has an MMA related question. Matt.
Well, very quickly, I just want to say that like women's MMA, they fight the same amount of time that men's MMA fight. They all fight 5-minute rounds. Have you ever brought that up to the WBC?
I think MMA is a little ahead of us than boxing is, even though boxing's been around longer. They've progressed a little more. Honestly, I don't know the rules with MMA, how well they take care of their boxers or their athletes or what it is. I know the WBC is very cautious about health, and they really take care of you after your fights and all this stuff. So, I don't know. I guess it's something that I just have to learn about because for me, whatever time they give me, that's the time that I'm going to fight. That's the time that I'm going to get ready for. Like I said, as a boxer, I would prefer more time, but if they say that it's for health reasons, I gotta understand it also.
Have you ever thought about doing what Heather Hardy is doing? She's doing both MMA and boxing at the same time to make money because there's a lack of women's boxing.
Well, she says actually, Matt, that there's a lot of women's boxing in Mexico. She says that she's been on 4.
I'm talking about in the U.S.
Yeah, well, she's kind of not interested in the U.S.
Yeah.
I don't know, right, Sulem? Am I wrong, Sulem?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm really fortunate. All my fights are televised. I am well taken care of. I have a big following over there, and women's boxing is respected. I show up at a boxing event and they say, "Hey, Sulem Urbina's here." People are asking me for pictures, autographs. It feels great. I come here to the U.S. and nobody really knows me.
But you know that the mecca of boxing is New York or Las Vegas, depending on, your level of nostalgia. And even foreign fighters, they all want to fight under the big lights of American television networks. That isn't your dream one day to possibly be under the HBO cameras and your fight commentated by Lampley and Roy Jones and Max Kellerman?
Definitely. I mean, I was already fortunate enough to have to be in that position that I am in Mexico, have Jimmy Lennon announcing me and everything. But every boxer wants to fight in Vegas. Every boxer wants to be at the Barclays Center. Those big cards, of course I want the spotlight on me. But I think that's why I said this is a turning point in women's boxing, and I think that we are going to accomplish that especially with American companies like Golden Boy starting to get interested in women's boxing. It's definitely going to grow, and of course I would love to fight at the Madison Square Garden someday under those big lights and for a good payday. Why not? That's every boxer's dream.
So, Len, well, I want to thank you, obviously, for coming on the Boxing Voice and gracing our airwaves, letting our listeners know about you. We want you to give out your social media so that we can start to follow you, not only us, but anyone else who's listening and hasn't been following you can do so. Any IG or Twitter or things of that nature. And once again, thank you for your time for calling in.
No, thank you guys very much for having me. It's always a pleasure, and thank you for taking the interest in speaking to female boxers. You may contact me on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, all at Sulem Urbina. I do my best to answer, and thank you for the support.
I just want to take a moment also to thank you for coming on our show as well. You're awesome. I love following you on your Instagram. I had to have you here on the show. I hope that our listeners would also seek you out. And I'm wishing you all the best. I'm hoping that you become a name here in the United States.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it very much.
All righty. You have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Well, all right. There you have it. I told you this is ladies' night and the feelings right. Oh, what a night. So, where were we? Headlines, Matthew. Any more PBC being dumped by Spike Talk, or are we all done summing that up?
I'm done summing that up, and if you are too, I have one other headline I want to get to.
Headlines. Where's my freaking breaking news soundbite? Damn it. Where does he get those wonderful toys? I always lose that one. Go ahead. I'm waiting on you.
I'm waiting on you for that soundbite, but I guess.
I never know where that one is. I really don't. I don't know why it always gets lost too. So weird. I mean, you've seen how many there are. That's why.
Yeah. But anyways, we digress.
I digress.
But Robert Easter Jr. is seemingly set to fight Denis Shafikov, and they obviously both share a win against Richard Comey. Both wins were razor close against Richard Comey. Both wins were Fight of the Year contenders. So I'm glad that Denis Shafikov has another shot at the title, since he barely lost against Francis Bartholomew as well. Denis Shafikov, I think, is one of the most underrated fighters of the 135-pound division. He could give Mikey Garcia and Linares some trouble, just saying that. And he would probably beat Terry Flanagan easily. But I think Ness just left because I just went too hipster for him. But I think that it's a good fight for Robert Easter. It's in Toledo, his hometown. Another great idea and thought from AB about Billions Promotions to keep guys in their hometown. So yeah, I'm good.
Definitely doing a good job with Robert Easter promoting him. He already got him that hometown first defense. I will say I'm not as happy about this one as you are.
Now hold on. Did you see the Richard Comey Denis Shafikov fight?
Yeah, remember it was in the white ring, which looked like they were inside of a shoebox.
Yeah, there are girls dancing in between the round.
That it was such a good little fight that no one. It felt like it was in Monaco. That's how small the room was, but it was emptier than that. You know what I mean? But
you want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
And Matt won't be able to handle the truth, but this is some bullshit. They are babying the fuck out of Easter. I don't care how good the hipsters think that Shafikov is. This does nothing for this man's profile, and he's not a good style. This guy comes forward. This is a tough fight that doesn't raise profile, doesn't raise popularity, it doesn't even raise pay grade. It's just a tough fight in your hometown with a guy that you're probably going to get a headbutt with. He's going to be all over you. You're going to have to be pushing him back. You're going to have to be holding. I don't understand this fight. It does nothing. It does nothing for real.
Well, he had a soft touch on Bounce TV a couple months ago, and that did like the most rating on any boxing event on Bounce TV ever. It's like 1-point-something million views on Bounce TV. I forget who he fought because there's that much of a soft touch. So he was due for a hard fight. And unless he wants to fight a unification fight, who else in the division should he fight, Ness? Who else would be a profile-raising fight and plus be a hard and quality fight?
I mean, you take to the news and you start saying Mikey Garcia's talking a lot of shit. He's calling out Lomachenko. He's talking about this guy. He's talking about that guy. He's got a relationship with Al Ayman. I'm right here. Let's unify the division.
But if I'm AB, right? Because AB is actually his promoter, right? I'm probably thinking, why would I want Robert Easter, who still doesn't have 20 fights, go and fight Mikey Garcia, who could be one of the best boxers in the lower weight classes? So I don't know. I think if I'm his promoter, I'm not pushing him towards Mikey.
Listen, you're absolutely right. You don't push him towards Mikey, but you get him a better fight than Shafikov, man. Nobody knows this guy. You know it. Let's just stop lying. Nobody knows.
Fight. I agree that it does nothing for his profile. I will 100% agree with you for that. That Shafikov is a nobody in terms of the U.S. market.
Mickey Bay. The fact that he's been on TV more than Shakakov. Listen, he's been on TV more than Shakakov. He's a former champion. He signed to Mayweather, so that's profile right there. You need something like that. Luke Campbell. Go to the UK. They take Gravante to the UK. Let's take this guy to the UK. Let's expand the brand. Beltran. He's been in there with Hank London. He's been in there with Crawford. It's a barometer fight. It's a Mexican. Come on, bro. There's names here. There's names out there, man. Do some work as a matchmaker. Let's do some work. Let's put some pressure on these guys. This is bullshit.
Shafikov's a tougher fight than all those guys.
And look, again, I don't want to call it bullshit. Shakakov isn't bullshit. He deserves his opportunity as well, right? Because some people feel he got shafted. But he ain't a sexy name, man. He ain't a sexy name. And at this point, Easter is at the top of the food chain, okay? It's Linares. It's Garcia. It's Easter. It's maybe Flanagan, right? So, I mean, you can't be going that down, yo. Like, Shakakov, get out of here. You skipping people anyway. Bottom line, nah, man. Whatever. Any other news you want to interject?
No, we're good.
That's it?
That's it. No more hipster topics for you.
That's it. Well, Christy Martin is actually on, so we're ready to rock and roll. You're live, monster.
What's happening, guys?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I have Christy here. She has a little laryngitis. She can't speak very well, but she's here with us. So thank you again, Christy, for being on our show.
Thank you. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to have me on. And I apologize to you and to the listeners that, the voice comes and goes. I don't know what happened. It was all good earlier today, and I don't know if something happened between noon and now.
Well, we just want to thank you, obviously, for coming on the program and giving us an opportunity to interview you, such a iconic woman in women's boxing, and really giving us, time out of your day. So first and foremost, we want to thank you. And if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself for those that haven't been privy to watch you on big Showtime cards, really laying it on the line, and just making legendary fights.
I was really lucky and fortunate. Don King was my promoter back in the 90s when, to me it was the last time that boxing was really, fighters were fighting and, big fights were getting made, and now we can't get the guys in the ring together. At the time they should be in there. But I fought on a lot of Tyson cards and was fortunate to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated. And now I'm just trying to take my boxing career and start my promotional career. And through some of the relationships that I was able to form back during my boxing career, I've been able to reach out to those people now and say, hey, I'm having my professional fight card that I'm promoting. Would you be interested in putting fighters on, or, even come watch the guys that I have, because that excites them and brings their level of competition. How they want to do really well when they know somebody's in the crowd watching them. So that's my goal, is to really build these young fighters in this area and show them in the Charlotte area that, look, boxing does not start in Ian here in North Carolina. It hardly even starts here. You have to get bigger than the Carolinas. You have to go out there into the world and fight. But here we have to build our roots and get a home base going for you.
Christy, this is Matt, the producer of the Boxing Voice. Thank you for your time. What do you think of the seeming explosion of women's boxing in the past 12 months or so, with Clarissa Shields, Katie Taylor, Nicola Adams, big name women amateurs coming to the pros and getting primetime television exposure?
Right. I think that, I think it's terrific. And if they can build off these very, very successful amateur careers, then that's more power to them. I just am worried. You know, a lot of people ask me, if you were Clarissa Shields, what would you do? Would you stay amateur? Would you turn pro? And honestly, I answered to them, I would stay amateur, because it just seemed like she was getting more publicity, more sponsors, and more people behind her as an amateur than she was going to get as a pro. But she has good people, Mark Taffet, and some really, really strong people in the boxing world behind her. And I think they will help progress her career. She's not going to be just, you know, a local fighter, as we've already seen. We saw her second fight on Showtime. So, you know, it's going to take exciting fights. They're getting opportunities. These women are getting opportunities, but they're going to have to fight and then really bring the excitement so that the fans will want to see them more.
Now, Christy, you brought up the fact that you were promoted by Don King, and there's always been a certain aura that people believed about Don King, which I'm sure inspired you and kind of motivates you to be a certain kind of promoter. So what are some of those things that you plan on doing different as a promoter? Because, you know, in this day and age, it's kind of difficult to – fighters are staying more and more free agents, so the promoter has to actually entice the fighter now.
Well, the promoter actually has to promote. But the thing about Don King, and love him or hate him, I learned so much being promoted by him, because in my opinion, he was the greatest boxing promoter at that time, and really even now, if he stepped up and, you know, if he's 100 years old now, but if he wasn't, and he had a good fighter, you know, we would see the resurgence of Don King. But he showed me how to deal with the media, how to make good fights. I mean, really, when he put a stinker card together, and they were good from the top to the bottom. I mean, world champions were fighting, you know, way before TV time. So that's the positive things that he taught me. The negative things, you know, we had to stay away from the media aspect of Don King, that where the promoters are taking advantage of the fighters. I don't want to be that. I want everybody to make money, including me. But I want the fighters to make money. I want everybody in the house makes money, because then we're going to do it again. If I'm the only one that walks away with money, or if I'm the only one that loses, then I'm not going to want to do it again. So I want everybody to want to work with me. And I have had no problems. I've had no problems finding fighters that want to fight for me. I've had no problems finding managers and other promoters that want to put fighters on the show. And I think that's just because they know that I'm going to bring quality. I have a policy. I'm not paying any one-hitter quitters. You know, if you're not going to fight, don't take the fight here, because I will not pay you if you don't go out there and give it your all. And you might get knocked out in the first round. I understand that. But if you're fighting and get knocked out, that's fine. But if you're just out there looking for a place to fall, no, sorry, you're not getting paid.
What do you think needs to happen in the sport for women's boxing to grow to the level of what we see like women's MMA grow, to where Ronda Rousey is on SNL and, you know, stuff like that? You know, what needs to happen in our sport that will make it grow to that level?
You know, Ronda Rousey was so fortunate because she was like the only one, and at the time, so Dana White put all the whole media marketing machine behind her, and made her much bigger than what she was. It made her bigger than she was good, and we've seen that now. But this is going to take a major player like Oscar or, you know, Mayweather Promotions, somebody that has lots of TV dates, Luda Bella, that's going to be able to keep the female fighter out there, keep them active, and make them a crossover star. Just being a boxing star isn't going to get it. You have to be crossover. You have to be the person walking down the street knows who you are in order to really bring sponsorship money to the table.
So, Christy, who's your talent search? Who's the guy that brings in your talent? How are you going to find the next, you know, Keith Thurman or Clarissa Shields? How is Christy Martin going to, you know, basically get her fighters and her promotional company on the networks of HBO, Showtime, or one of these big, national networks that are airing free boxing now. What's the plan for? Is it Pink Promotions, correct?
Pink Promotions, and I hope to get to that level. That's my goal, of course. But right now, I'm just a 4-round fighter. I'm just a 4-round promoter. I'm just cutting my teeth. So I have local guys, and I have 2 very good local kids here from Charlotte, Stevie Massey and Levante Early. Solid amateur careers, and they're solid pros, but they need exposure and they need good competition. And that's what I'm trying to bring to them. And talk to their people and explain to them, look, them fighting 0-15 guys is just not going to get it, because they're not going to get any better. We need to put them in with somebody that's, a 5-5 guy, even record, or, they have a lot of fights, 10-12. But they have to have good competition. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing my own talent search. I don't trust or believe anybody. I've been in the boxing world a long time. So just because you tell me your fighter's good, no, I'm sorry. I need to see your fighter myself. Unless, of course, Miguel Diaz calls me from Top Rank and tells me, or, Miguel's been my cut man and trainer for many, many years. He tells me, I have a good fighter. And, I'm going to believe him. But just the average private, they think everybody that walks in their gym is a champion. And that's just not the way it is, as we know.
Now, is there a Christy Martin gym out there in Charlotte? Because, how is there another way for you to attract the young talent out there? You said that there isn't much sparring, but do they have enough gyms in those areas?
There are a lot of gyms here in Charlotte. I just sold my gym in Florida. And I will reopen a gym at some point. I'm still in that phase of trying to decide where I'm going to be, and if that's going to be Charlotte, or is that going to be back in Florida, or maybe out in Las Vegas. I don't know. I'm still undecided, but right now I'm just focusing on really promoting these shows here in Charlotte. I train at 2 different gyms here: the Ultimate Gym here in Charlotte, and I train at Form Fitness. And they both are strong programs and up and coming professional fighters. So I get to see some of the local talent.
Is there a woman in the sport that you think could be a transcendental star that could really drive the sport to a new height?
Wow. I'm not sure. I mean, I haven't seen Katie Taylor from Ireland, and I know that Oscar just signed, and I can't think of her name, young Mexican
Marlon Esparza
from the Olympics. Yes, she has. I think she has the it factor. If Oscar uses it and gets out there, Oscar has all the connections in the world, so there's really no reason why he won't or shouldn't build her into a household name.
Ms. Martin, so when it comes to the fighters that you do you have any social media networks where you display their past fights? How could people get to know these fighters that are signed to your promotional company? Is there a web page? Where do you want to direct our listeners who may want to find out more? And also, you have a card on April 29th, no?
April 29th here in Charlotte, center stage. Actually, I have less than 20 tickets left, ringside, general admission, VIP tables. I mean, everything is sold out. So we have 20 general admission tickets left because a fighter decided he didn't want to be on the show, and he returned his 20 tickets. So, those tickets will go fast, and I'm excited. I mean, to have a sellout on my second pro show, I'm excited, very excited. The card is stacked. We have Lamar Ruff who's going to be the headliner. Daisy and Rock Nation have put on 3 of the Chinese Olympians that they promote. I have local talent, Stevie Massey, Levante Early, Santario Martin. I have a 19-year-old kid from up in Lynchburg, Virginia, Cole Crumpler, that, you know, he's trying to cut his teeth and show the world, the boxing world, that he's the real deal. It's going to be a great night of boxing.
What do you think of the WBC saying that they're never going to change the ruling of a 2-minute round for female boxing?
Personally, you know, I don't care. I think it's fine. I fought 3-minute rounds when I started way back in 1989. As you know, I fought many 2-minute rounds. It doesn't matter. We just got to go in there and fight bell to bell, and who cares? It doesn't matter. I mean, that really doesn't affect pay. I know that some of the female fighters want to say that affects the pay. It doesn't, because if I have a female fighter on my show, she's fighting a 2-minute round, but she sells 3/4 of the tickets that are in the house that night. Oh, trust and believe, she's getting paid the money. So it's all about the tickets you sell. It doesn't matter if you fight 2-minute rounds or 3-minute rounds. It doesn't matter how many butts you put in the seats.
But as a fighter, does it matter? Because we just had a female boxer on from Mexico, Sulem Urimba, and she was saying that it's a little more difficult. Like sometimes you hurt a fighter, and because the rounds are so short, they have, you know, less time to be in there, hence more time to recover.
Well, I mean, all that's true, but also with the 2-minute rounds, the female fights have to be more action-packed, and therefore the fans will become more involved. If, you know, we don't want to be like the guys. We see some boring guys fight 3-minute rounds. You know, it gets stretched out in the 3rd minute, and then the action slows down. I mean, who wants to see that? So let's be fighting 2-minute rounds, bring lots of action, bring the fury, and, you know, to me, it's all about the wins and losses, number one, but it's also about getting paid. And what is it? As long as you're getting paid, what does it matter? If you get to fight 2-minute rounds and get paid the same amount of money you're going to get anyway, what does it matter? And I'm a BC girl, so if that's the ruling that the WBC makes, then I'm going to stand with them.
Well, there you have it. Well, Christy Martin, please give us any social media and or website as well, where any of our listeners that are in the Charlotte area or willing to travel can get any tickets to this April 29th show, as well as your own personal social media or promotional company social media, so they can follow your upcoming shows.
At Facebook, either Christy Salters Martin or Pink Promotions. Twitter is Christy Martin 68. Instagram is Christy Salters Martin. I just do everything on my own, and, you know, I'm old, so social media is still new to me. I'm still trying to catch up. So I post what I can about the fight coming up. You know, people can reach out to me at Pink Promotions. The phone number's on all the sites for tickets. But as I said, tickets are sold out for this event. You know, good, bad, or indifferent. I mean, it's to me, it's great that the event's sold out. So, but, you know, if people want to show up, I'm sure we're going to figure out how to get them in the house that night.
Oh, well, that's amazing. Congratulations on selling out. Thank you again for your time and coming on here and, you know, just talking boxing with us and letting the world know about your promotional company and upcoming show. Monsterpiece, thank you again. Let us know when you're ready.
Thank you, Christy.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it, guys. We knocked out 2 good female interviews, keeping boxing alive around here, 1 round at a day. Let's head on out to the sponsors and to the callers.
Fight fans, don't leave the decision in the hands of the judges. Download the Throwdown scoring app and receive live scoring, CompuBox stats, boxing predictions from other users around the world. Head over to your iPhone App Store or your Google Play Store and download it absolutely free.
Going out to Bakersfield, Brad, what's up?
Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, I just wanted to say one thing before we get started. It's there's a lot of outlets of boxing, of course, and I mean, you get the view from the beach, but with the Boxing Voice, it's like you're diving in the water and you're getting the whole feel. Like I never heard of that first girl, and it was really cool that you know what I mean, to hear something different in the boxing world, and and the whole take from you and Matt today was superb. It's kind of like that NFL interview. Oh, you know, Champ Bailey and Chuck, Undisputed. You guys are like the Undisputed of boxing, and I appreciate everything you guys do. And I say that every one of you should get on Patreon, like and subscribe to the show, and definitely follow on Twitter. You get a lot of information on Twitter, whether you would believe that or not, from the Boxing Voice guys. So I mean, and Matthew J. Hunter, his mixed combat radio, real good program on the podcast end. Check that out too. And about the fights, I'm picking against Ricky Burns. What are the fights, Ness?
The other fight is Sullivan Barrera's back in action. He's going to be facing Paul pay-per-view Parker. Then we got some Showbox on Showtime Friday night, Brad. So set your DVR. You're going to see the debut of Dmitry Bivol versus Samuel Clarkson, who I think Clarkson might surprise a few people, not with an upset win, but at least a good test. And if not, Bivol's the goods.
Hey, didn't Barrera have a fight that was lined out in Florida, and you was like all set to go
Oh
out
man,
there?
I know. For whatever reason, he says he lost it. I mean, he says he didn't lose his pen. Better Beef says he lost his pen. I don't know, man. It didn't happen. No Miami, no summer in Miami for us. It was supposed to happen April 29th, that fight.
Man, Barrera, I'm going to go with him on that one. I heard you guys talking about his opponent. That it's the guy that you're really not too sure of. Was it the pay-per-view guy?
Who? Jezreel?
Nah, pay-per-view Parker.
Yeah, pay-per-view Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually his name too.
Yeah, I was trying to give him his big name.
All right. Well, yeah, man. That there's also one more fight, like I said, the Clarkson one. So I don't know if you want to make a pick. I don't know if you heard of either fighter or not.
What's the fighters again?
Dmitry Bivol. It's going to be on Showbox. Just make sure you DVR. I don't know. These guys are kind of.
It's on tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's on tomorrow night. Samuel Clarkson on Showbox. But listen, Brad, thanks for calling in. We're going to go down the line here. We have Larry from the Bay. What up? How's your day?
What's up, y'all? Big up to the Boxing Voice. As always, appreciate the show. Keep it coming. Hey, I am the new president of the Julius Indongo fan club. I'm rooting hard for at least by the third round knockout by Indongo. Reason is he might mess around and dare to be great after that and go there and get him some of Terence Crawford. And you can hype that fight if he knocks out Ricky Burns. Ain't nobody done it yet. So it's all about Indongo for me this weekend, and I am picking him to win that fight by knockout.
That's what's up, Larry. That's what's up.
Little tame week.
As if he didn't know you were already agreeing with him.
Yeah, I did, but yeah, that's what's up, man. It's all good. So let's get that going. I have not seen Bivol before, so it'll be my first taste of him tomorrow. We'll see if the hype is warranted. If so, that's yet another young, hungry stud in that division. So let's make it happen.
Hey, Larry, have you seen at least Clarkson though? Clarkson.
No, neither one.
Neither? Damn, he knocked out Jerry Odom on a Showbox card. He knocked out Jerry Odom when the kid that we used to have on here a lot, Adam Lopez, was the main event on that Sands Bethlehem Casino card. I guess you didn't see it, but yeah. All right, damn. I don't want to be the only guy that's seen Clarkson. I want somebody to be like, yeah, Ness, he's pretty tough, but I guess not.
No, unfortunately, I'm not that guy, but I'll see him come tomorrow night. But otherwise, big ups to boxing, the boxing voice, and I'm out.
And hold on, quick betting tip for Larry. Julius Indongo, rounds 1 through 3 by knockout, 8-1 odds. Just throwing it out there, 8-1 odds in that rounds 1 to 3 range. Might want to look at that, Larry.
All right. Well, let's see. We're going to go out to everyone's favorite Australian.
But no one can stop me, really.
Oh, there's a king croc right there. This croc has enough power in its jaws to whip my head right off.
Unique in the 6th round, in the 7th round.
You're gonna be the legend to become a legend. Honestly, it's unbeatable. You're gonna be the legend to become a legend.
Hey boys, it's gone on another great show by TBV. Thumbs up everyone. Sign up to Patreon, you bums. I was just gonna quickly say I just jumped on to just basically make a quick pick. I thought I'd make Matt's day and pick Indongo. And I thought I'd also make his and Stainless's day and say I'm pulling a card for my birthday, boys. So big up to the boxing voice. Indongo by knockout, and thanks for the show.
All right, Alex. Damn, is Matthew's finger stuck on a trigger with the freaking Mario Brothers coins today?
Everyone's just calling in and making great picks, man, and great points. I'm just
anytime someone says anything remotely close to what you say, they get coins and shit. All right, let's get on out to the co-producer.
I'm a motherfucking monster.
Who the fuck is fighting this weekend? What? Hello?
So you don't know who's really fighting?
So you're just gonna play
Who the fuck is that guy? So
who the fuck is that guy?
So the producer of the biggest boxing podcast in the world doesn't know who Ricky Burns is?
The biggest, the largest.
You don't know? You don't know?
I do know who's fighting tonight. I just
do you not know who is Ricky Burns?
Shit happens, man.
I do know who Ricky Burns is, but he's unlike just like Eunice. I also have my doubts about him as well. So when you were saying that, I totally connect. I was like, yep, that's exactly how I felt. But I'll definitely look forward to this fight. I'll probably be going for Julius Indongo just because of my skepticism of Ricky Burns. But oh god.
Yo, he was yo. You seen that? You seen that monster? He was so ready to hit you with the sad. Then he heard you say no, Julius, and now he want to give you coins. Yo, what's up with this guy?
Because Matt is Matt. Oh god, that's stop it.
Yo, he is going OD on sound bites tonight.
Oh my god, I love you guys so much. Thank you, everyone who's tuning in tonight. Definitely share the show and thumbs up. I hope you enjoy those interviews. I knew it was going to be a great interview because obviously it's Christy Martin. She's a badass. But also for Salem Urbina, it's not that hard to say.
Urbina.
Urbina was awesome. She's just she's a great talker. She's also very, very beautiful, and she's a badass. And I'm hoping for the women's boxing to really get their shit together, man. But I have to agree with some of the things that people say in the chat. When you don't have a lot of women that are knocking bitches out just left and right, just the moment they get in the ring, just knock out, and wolf status, you hardly gonna get that much attention. And so it's crazy though, because if you think about it, like in a day and age where there's so much social media, you would think that women's boxing would be a little bit more promoted, but not even on social media. So it's crazy how back when Christy and Layla Ali and Ann Wolf were fighting, it was a little bit more popular, and it was beginning to have a name, but now it's just, I don't know, it's just weird. But anyways, enough of that. I'm going for Julius Indongo, definitely. I don't think Ricky Burns is that great. I really never really cared about him. I'm going for Sullivan Barrera. And I say that with a question mark at the end because I'm not sure. I don't know much about Paul Parker, so I'm going to stick to Sullivan Barrera in this one. And I do not know Dmitry Bivol versus Samuel Clarkson, so I'm definitely going to watch it because obviously I want to know who these guys are. So I'm not going to be picking for those two. But yeah, anyways, everybody, thank you so much for listening. Remember to thumbs up, share the show, and I'm working so hard to bring you much, much better and much greater interviews. We're trying here, Rabel. We're trying.
Monster, check your email.
I know. I saw it. It was great. Guys, I have a full-time job. Give me a little break. Matt
hiding. After giving you all that credit, he's hiding.
Nez, I have a question. When you were asking Salim about what advice to give to somebody who hasn't fought, were you talking about Matt?
Well, talking about all the guys, really, right? None of them have ever had any true amateur career, or amateur background. So yeah, I was talking. That question was for her to give them all advice, kind of. It was an inside joke question.
It was great, but she answered it great. I mean, you must admit she was a great interview and she was a lot of fun. Compared to Selena Barrios, because she was a little bit shy, but she should definitely take some pointers from Selena because it's important for you to sell yourself no matter where you are.
For sure. We'll get Selena back. She'll develop. Right. She'll develop in her interview skills as her in-ring skills start to develop. It just takes time, you know what I mean? Monster, as always, thank you for doing a wonderful job, as always, being the number one.
Good night.
All right, the number one producer right there. Let's see, who do we have in the barrel of phone numbers? We're going to go out to Dale Clark, first time calling in. What city and country you calling in from, buddy?
Hey, man, I'm from England.
From England, first time calling in?
That's right, yeah.
So how long have you been listening, my friend?
I'm just listening to you because you've been talking shit about me on Twitter.
Damn, I've been talking shit about you on Twitter?
Yeah, man, and it's annoying me.
Oh, man. Damn, he waited on the line all that time to prank call?
Come at me.
Come at you?
No, you dissing me on Twitter, man.
I'm dissing him on Twitter. This is Radio Gold.
I'm not scared of you, man.
You're not scared? Oh, man. You're amazing.
I'm not scared of you at all.
Jesus.
It's always funny when somebody says, I'm not scared of you when they're over 3,000 miles away.
No, what's funny is that I made it, dude. Anytime you get prank called, you fucking made it, bro. I'm just... I mean, look at that scene. You ever seen that CNN show? I know you've seen it. I haven't seen it. I only see the fucking YouTube clips where they edit all the times that people call in just to prank call them. I was like, damn, I wish I could ever get a cool little Vine / Instagram reel of my prank calls. But look, I just made it. Got one. And he's still there listening. So, hey, shout out to you, Dale. Called in just to say you're shitting on me on Twitter.
What's his Twitter handle?
Constipated, right? He was like, hey, man, you're shitting on me on Twitter. Damn. You all right there?
Who is he? Who are you shitting on Twitter there, Ness?
I don't know. I guess some guy named Dale. I don't fucking know.
Should we bring him on back so people can find out his social media information?
I guess.
Mr. Info Joe.
Tell the truth, Joe. Tell the truth. This portion of the show we call In the
Mr.
Know,
Info Joe.
presented by my brother. Tell the truth, Joe. Tell the truth.
Yo, you know it ain't no show without Info Joe. What's up, my boxing brothers? The Boxing Voice. What's happening? What up, Matt? What up, Ness?
What up, Joe?
Joe?
I was wondering if somebody was. Yo, what's up, brother?
Was that your heavy bag that Matt was beating on?
No, that wasn't Joe's. That was mine.
What color was it?
Oh, okay.
No, that was mine at my house.
Okay.
I've had that thing since like high school.
Hey,
Get
Joe.
some corn in this weekend too, brother.
Hey,
Yeah.
I just want to go ahead and give you a few coins. You know, I'm seeing Matt's form. It's looking a little tighter. He's looking a little tighter.
Yeah.
Is that some sort of
that.
some sort of Gennady Golovkin overhand right, like that, and Marco Antonio Rubio right hand that he landed? Because I see him like he's coming over the top, boom, landing it over. I don't know, Matt, what's going on? What's that about?
I don't know, man. You're gonna see June 8th. That's all I'm gonna say. Little Stevie might get it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey Matt, you still switching stances? You still pulling that? You still think
dude,
your team bet?
Dude, I'll do whatever I want.
Oh shit!
Don't even worry about it, dog.
Say that, yo, because I was watching the tape, and stop jacking info, but info's too late. If I don't jack you now, I'm gonna forget this. I was watching the tape, and then Doomsday called me, and I'm like, oh shit, yo, Matt looking a little bit better, and I'm like, yo, why he keeps switching like he Terence Crawford or something? Hey, so Steven, you right. He working the bag from both sides. He just keeps switching and shit. I'm like, yo, he ain't learned his lesson. You better master one stance first, okay? Because
I'm a master of all.
Superman Steve plays no games, okay?
All I know is if you
we know he doesn't play any games because he doesn't spar.
All I know is if you do southpaw, you're just setting yourself up for a left hook. So I don't know what else to tell you, bro.
How are those steroids doing, man?
I'm gonna get that Teddy Atlas soundbite. Bang, bang. He's left hook. Bang.
Hey,
yo, let's get to Joe.
After this fight, his name is not gonna be Superman. It's gonna be Peter Pan.
Oh.
Hey, cruel Joe.
On some of the topics you had this week, brother. First off, as far as the Triple G fight, not in fighting Saunders, I don't think it's a duck. I think he's going for the bigger name and what makes the most money, and Canelo ain't no cherry, so I don't think it's a duck. I would pick Canelo to beat Triple G. But if I was Daniel Jacobs, calling Saunders out every fucking week, Jacobs, if you're listening, go get the belt from Saunders, easy work, kick Saunders' ass, and get the rematch with Triple G. And the other topic you had last night with Canelo, Chavez, and the Pez. Hey, man, I read an article last year with J-Rock's trainer. What's his name? Breadman, Beadman, something like that?
Stephen Edwards, Breadman. Stephen Edwards, a.k.a. Breadman.
Yeah, he said in an interview he believes 70% of the fighters are on something. And that's more than half. So everybody's a suspect until proven otherwise. I know I was shocked about that. I didn't think it would be that high of a number, but that's what he believes. So
yeah, but what's his metric?
Until
What's his metric though? Like really, what's he using to gauge this? Where's he getting this analytic from?
I don't know. He didn't say that when the guy was interviewing about him, asked him to go into detail, he wouldn't do it because he said he didn't want to bless nobody. But it was on Fight Hype. I think it was earlier this year. It was just a written article. It wasn't a video interview. But I was shocked to hear that too. So coming from a guy that's from the inside, that's a trainer. So I don't know, man. This shit tripped me out too. And what was the other topic? Oh, PBC. PBC ain't going nowhere. But what I got out of that article is that they only want the big fight. And I think they don't want no more Laura against the Rabbi type shit. But I don't think it's over with Spike, though. And I think PBC, big up to Big Al. He ain't going nowhere. So all the haters, you can just go back in the closet. But that's my call, gentlemen. Hit those thumbs up. You're listening to the #1 pound for pound podcast in the world. There are a lot of imitators, duplicators, perpetrators. But TBV are the innovators. Facts. Can't wait for this Border Wars show tomorrow, fellas. Peace.
Oh, it's going down tomorrow. We got a big treat. I'm so glad Info Joe reminded us. You don't even know what's coming tomorrow. On a Friday night, after you put the women and children to bed, You know, it's going to be you, your brewski, all my Patreons. You know what level you on. Ness sent you that TBV koozie. You're going to slide your cold one inside the koozie so your fingertips don't freeze, and you're going to sit in front of the TV, you know. Hopefully you got a smart TV like Ness, and you just, boom, TBV right on your TV, cold brewski, and you listen to what's going to go down tomorrow night, Friday, TBV exclusive special announcement show. If you haven't subscribed to this channel or to Blog Talk or to iTunes or something, you better do it now, because very important show going down tomorrow. Let's get on out to some of those loyal guys out there, you know. Patreons, ringer status.
Straight to the point for those with attention deficit. I'm so repetitive, so I gotta repeat. Stainless from the streets to the deep. I'm coming with that heat. All you need to know about me, I'm coming with that heat.
Yo, TBV fam, what's good?
Stainless, what it do?
Man, to be honest with you, man, I'm on some info Joe shit right now. You know what I'm saying? Ricky Burns, come on now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm ready to see Julius Indongo get that belt so Crawford can go and take his belt too. But I really caught in. Y'all gotta forgive me, man. I'm on like day 10 at work or something like that, man. I only had like 2 hours of sleep last night, so I'm a little loopy. But I really caught in. I mean, y'all know I'm all about the hard work and the dedication and appreciation, man. But you guys been on it, man. All this shit brewing with Garcia and Lomachenko, you know, CBS News, they can take credit for that. But that all started with y'all. You know what I'm saying? To be real with you, the Ward Kovalev announcement, I got that from TBV first. You know what I'm saying? The Crawford Diaz announcement, I got that from TBV first, man. And, I mean, obviously it seemed like I ain't calling in much because I mostly just call in on my regular days, and when I get to it at work sometimes. But as a fan, I just wanted to call in and use my Riga status to say, you know, we see all the work all the extra work y'all doing. I like, since the TBV appreciation party, man, y'all done went into hyperdrive, man. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all like fucking Harrison Ford in the Millennium Falcon right now. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all think y'all ain't talked to me in weeks because it's been a couple of days because y'all done did like 17 shows in them 2 days. And I just want to let y'all know that we as fans, we appreciate the fuck out that shit. And y'all go ahead, man, and let these other callers get in, and I'll talk to y'all later, man. Peace.
Stainless, man. Always a pleasure, man. Thank you for the kind words.
Damn, he said 10 days straight at work, man.
I know.
Like,
Wow.
and he's saying that we work hard. Can you believe that? That means a lot coming from someone like him.
Yo, man, sorry about that, Steven.
There'll be nothing but smooth sailing.
You're one of those guys that it always feels like we haven't seen you or talked to you in forever. I mean, now Steven's, you know, forget it. Now he's balling. He's got the iPhone, so at least we stay a little closer to him in the group chat. But yeah, we haven't. I mean, actually, you were on a morning show not too long ago.
Yeah, man, that was like 2 days ago, bro.
A couple hours ago, right?
Yeah,
The one show I wasn't on.
it was a few shows ago.
Me and Matt, we don't know what year and time zone we in. We just go.
I rarely know what day it is.
Let's get to speaking of Matt, the second in the what is this? Chief second, Santiago. What's going on, brother? I see what you're doing with Matt. I got the footage today.
Hey, Santiago, you been practicing? You been practicing throwing in that towel? You know you got to practice. You got to do it at the right time. Now you got to practice. Don't wait for the last minute, Santiago. Things could go wrong.
Oh, shit.
I'll say the same thing back at you, Steven. You never know what can happen in that ring. That's why they call boxing the theater of the unexpected.
Ooh.
Anyways, fellas, how are you?
What's up, Santiago? That's what's up. That's way better than picking against me. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, way to show your friendship. Way to show your loyalty still resides with Matt.
Applause sound bite, Ness. He deserves it.
He deserves it. Go for it, buddy.
Anyway, shout out to everybody here at TBV. You guys for putting in all the content you've been putting out lately, and Monster Peace for bringing on some good women on here for the show to talk and basically become more known, and also for Christy Martin too, a legend in the ring for women's boxing. But to the topics at hand, obviously, I'm excited for Ricky Burns versus Julius Indongo. I found that out here from TBB and specifically from Matt. I'm going to be going with Julius Indongo for my pick. I think at this point in his career, Ricky Burns is pretty much shot porn, and I really can't see him pulling off the upset. You know, controversially maybe, but nothing definitive. Barrera versus Parker. I have seen Parker fight once. It was on a PBC card, toe-to-toe Tuesdays, and in that fight, Parker basically came away with a very razor-thin split decision win, 76-75. So seeing how well Barrera has been doing lately and not having seen enough of Parker, I have to side with Barrera on this one. And Ness, you're not alone. I have seen Samuel Clarkson fight before on Showbox against the King's son, Jerry Odom.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. I was live at that one, but is that the only one you watched?
Like you, it's the last time I saw Samuel Clarkson. It was a third round TKO victory for him. He knocked down Odom once in the second, twice in the third, scored his 5th consecutive win at the time. And I think he'll be a good, tough test for Bivol. I have not seen Bivol. I don't know what he has. We don't really know if he's just, you know, another Ukrainian product that people are a little hype on just because he is from that region of the world. Well, we'll see what happens tomorrow on Showbox. You know, it's gonna be a fun weekend to say the least.
Well, it says
As
he
always,
resides in Russia, but birthplace is like something I'm not even gonna try to pronounce.
Put in the group chat.
I'll just get Jeffrey on the job. So, any questions for Santiago? You know what time it is. It's question time. Question time is, if you had to bet, if Matt beating Steven depended on stamina,
And stuttering.
would you bet on Matt?
As if I was dependent solely on stamina?
Solely on stamina.
It's a rough bet. It's a really rough bet, and I would give a marginally slight edge to Steven.
Marginally slight edge to Steven, the guy that's been dumping out road work videos left and right. Skipping rope like Muhammad Ali in Big Bear.
Skipping rope's different than boxing.
No, skipping rope takes stamina and coordination. Get your butt out of here, Tom Cruise.
Different than boxing.
This guy.
Just like hitting a heavy bag is very different than sparring.
Hell yeah. Anybody looks good on a heavy
bag. Have you sparred yet?
Tom Cruise is so perfect. You sprint in one direction, stop. Sprint in the other direction, stop.
That's risky.
Hey, Low Stevie, have you sparred yet?
No, I haven't. I gotta admit, man, it's been tough.
Let's sit down.
Hey, the gym that I'm at, they're very strict, man. They're not gonna let just some kid come off the street, you know, for like training 3 weeks and start going in there with some of the top amateurs and recently turned pros in the area. I don't know what to tell you.
Hey, Stevie, hold on.
Hey, we'll get into it tomorrow. I ain't gonna give away too much.
Yeah,
hold on, Stevie, hold on.
Training with world champions and shit, and you ain't taking advantage of
I have a piece of advice for Steven over here, okay? I use his actual name because I'm being very serious right now, okay?
I know that was respectful. I felt the end on that.
Yeah, right? Okay, so here's my advice.
Bitch, sit down.
Woo! He was waiting for that.
He's been dreaming about that all week.
Humble.
Santiago, man, thank you for calling in. Can't wait to see. Oh, actually, you better tune in Friday too, Santiago. We got some. I'm pretty sure fucking Matt spilled the beans. Where's my gun at? Matt, you spilled the beans to your little.
How'd I spill the beans?
Did you spill the beans to your bestie?
Oh, I didn't spill the beans to them yet. No, I haven't. I've not told them yet what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And what we are doing.
We'll see. I don't know. I've been thinking about this right here for my man.
Haters.
Scorsese, what up?
I agree, Ness. You should give me that because you hate on me every time I call and let people know you're gonna start hating. That'll be like the introduction to Ness is about to start. Yo,
actually, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna restart the clock. I'm a specifically Dollar. I know Dollar's listening. And he's the best producer on the planet, Dollar DiBiase. Follow him on Instagram and Twitter, even on Facebook. Dollar, when Alex called in today, I think he was our second caller, and he says, get on Patreons, you bum. That's the sound code we need. So we need that clip. Then we're going to put it in front of the haters. Then we'll give you that as an intro.
Yo, look, people. I said the realest shit ever. That Thurman and Porter made us wait all this time, breaking Keith Thurman neck in car wreck. He wrecked his Mazda or something. His Mazda said zoom, zoom up against the wall or something. They promote each other. They weren't promoting each other. And I simply said, yo, I'm just not feeling fight week. It don't even feel like it's here. I didn't say nothing else. How is that hating? They weren't but when Danny Garcia, Angel Garcia, Thurman, they all promote. What did I say? Yo, look at them. They doing perfect. And I'm getting called a hater every time. Look at the cue of the music. See how he do? But anyway.
Yo, that's Matt. Yo, Matt is he's on a tirade today, bro. It wasn't me.
175. You got the lineal champion getting called a cherry picker for fighting a guy who stopped his knockout streak and who knocked him down. He getting called a cherry picker for facing him off 11-month layoff. But Sullivan Barrera, who everybody gonna say Adonis is ducking just because they stupid, is fighting who again? Joseph Parker niece? Who is he fighting?
Because he got to stay busy. He got to stay busy.
Yeah. Well, hell, he could have fought but Turbiev instead of playing game.
No, Adonis could have gave him a shot. Adonis could have gave him a shot.
Why did you just not press your coin button? Because the dude ducked a IBF mandatory shot to get a title, and then he fighting Joseph Parker niece. But anyways, Julius and I'm just gonna point that out. We ain't got to go there. Julius Indongo. I hope he knock Ricky Burns out just like he did old boy. That's all I hope. And one more thing about this gonna tie into it. Robert Easter Jr. versus Shavakov just got made. They don't have a network. They got a date. They got a date in Ohio. They don't have a network. So maybe PBC is going out. And then my boy Bartholomew's supposed to get a shot at this. Where he gonna fight at? Where he gonna fight Relic at? They ain't got no networks. What's going on? Jinfo Joe talking about Big Al. I need the Big Al to make something happen. Everybody only active once a year, man. He got too many fighters, man. I don't know. Like I support it. You guys that didn't support, I can question what's going on. You guys that didn't support, you should kick yourself in the own ass. You got fighters out here inactive with nowhere to fight. But anyway, like I said, 175, full of cherry pickers and everything, punk ass dudes, and y'all talking about a 40-year-old that's trying to fight a guy who stopped his knockout streak and knocked him down, and he like 5 inches taller than him. But let's talk about how good of a fight Klitschko Joshua is, with Klitschko coming off a 2-year layoff and looking like shit his last 2 fights. But yeah, anyways, I digress. You hear me, Matt? You hear me?
That was a good word. Good word.
So he's done? That was your outro? Okay. Let's get to actually, do you guys want to bring up this WBC clean VADA update? You use, you lose with the.
I found that because Info Joe was mentioning about how who did he say said that maybe more than half the fighters are using something.
Yeah, he said Breadman said that in an interview. Well, a lot of these fighters have been tested. Jamar Charlo has been tested. Andre Durrell, Matt Korobov, Konstantin Panamera or Panamera. No, I'm saying that totally wrong. It's Ben Gennaro. So I don't know. Let's get my guy Jeffrey.
Konstantin
Berginaru. Oh my God, another one. We seen this guy on TV though. Ivan Branchak, something like that. Let's see what Jeffrey says.
Ivan Barankic.
Oh, Baranchik. So Selchik Aiden, Gerald Washington, Erickson Lubin. See you in Orlando. Andre from Forward, Pali Malinaji, Lucian Butte, Eldelir Alvarez, another hipster guy. Chris Algieri, Peter Quillen, Cesar Juarez, Oscar Valdez, Tevin Farmer, Sergey Kovalev, Edgar Jimenez, Rogelio Medina, Victor Mendez, Andres Warwick, Deontay Wilder, Alexander Popetkin, and Jeffrey, come back to work. You know you're on a call.
Nolafankeyakana.
That doesn't sound Italian, but it does sound Italian, right? So those are the guys. I don't know. Any other names I missed?
No, but Alexander Povetkin, it says the WBC has made official ruling of adverse findings for the following cases. Alexander Povetkin has presented an appeal, which will be evaluated in the near future. And Cletus Saldin, as well as Lucas Brown. And they're also, the WBC is in the final stages of processing and releasing the official rulings of the following cases, one being Andrew Warwick and Suryan Kalikanha.
Warwick, who popped when he was supposed to fight, what's his name? Wilder. Let's get to some other callers here. We got Jay in Orlando.
What's going on, fellas, man? Long time no talk to, man. Good to hear from you guys. Hey, Ness, man, I don't know if you said anything about this earlier when you were talking about the Sullivan Barrera fight, but that fight is trash, and you were giving Robert Easter, discredit for his fight, but that fight is really trash.
Jay, please come correct, bro. You really gonna compare a title fight in a champion's hometown to Sullivan Barrera on HBO Latino?
Wait.
Come on.
Yes, this is the reason why. That is a mandatory fight. Cut him up. That's a mandatory fight that Robert Easter is fighting. And which belt does he have? And which sanctioning body makes sure that you have to fight the mandatories?
IBF.
Thank you. Yes, the IBF.
All right, but how is your comparison? How is your comparison with Barrera? I mean, they're just two different levels, bro.
Sullivan Barrera is fighting the guy that the guy that he beat in his last fight knocked out the other guy in 3 rounds.
But I'm saying Barrera and Easter are two different levels. Barrera's not a champion. Easter is. So there's a different level of expectation, don't you think?
What I'm saying is it's a mandatory. It's a mandatory. You can't get away from your mandatory.
Well, yes, you can. You could always pay.
Robert Easter isn't on that level.
You could always pay for the bigger fight.
He's not on that level to pay step aside.
Maybe.
Unless you find Mikey Garcia. Nobody else. There's no other fight out there for him to pay step aside for.
Yo, I gotta agree. I'm not seeing any other
fights.
Go ahead. I don't want to jack your call.
No, you good, Steve. Hey, matter of fact, Steve, I like the way them hands working, man. You looking like a killer out there, bro.
Thank you very much. You must be one of those people supporting me on the comment section.
I know Matt about to hate.
That is him hating. That's him hating, man.
Money won't eat. Man, niggas even had it on Jesus.
This guy, man.
Sit down.
Hey, Matt, I got Indongo. Matt, I got Julius Indongo. Stop.
That's what I was waiting for. Coins and shit. I was waiting for. There you go.
Yeah. Let them come out. Hey, is some in the Showtime main event for tomorrow for the Showbox? Is the main event still going on? I thought I saw like an article. I didn't read it or anything, but I thought like somebody was called off of that fight.
Oh man, I ain't see anything about that. I mean, I hope not.
Yeah, somebody got hurt. I don't know if it was a main event guy or whoever it was. I had never heard of him, but I did see that when you were talking about the Adam Lopez, the guy that fought the light heavyweight. I've seen him fight before. I saw him fight before on that card, on that Showbox card.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see anything.
Yeah,
I don't see anything about the. All right, Jay. I don't see anything about the main event being off. I haven't found anything, but maybe since we got 2 producers on the line, we can get that checked out. Let's get to Clarkson bound in Texas.
Hold on.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hey. Okay, cool. So, yeah, Ricky Burns and Julius Indongo. That should be pretty entertaining. Ricky Burns is always he's always in competitive fights, or you know, he makes it tough. So I expect to see some decent things going on there. I don't know if I'll actually watch it though, because it's not completely on my radar, but I'll give it a shot. Other topics that you guys brought up, or one that's being brought up, did y'all hear about Dominic Breazeale suing Deontay Wilder for that post-fight scuffle that happened?
No. What's the details?
Yeah, TMZ Sports. I don't know all the details so far. All I know is that TMZ Sports is reporting it, and that I don't know where exactly they're gonna go to court for it, but I'm not sure how long this is gonna take. But I guess it was more serious than we thought, because I thought it was a one and done thing, but apparently it was serious enough for Dominique to press charges. I dig that soundbite. That, and then the whole Canelo Chavez, performance enhancing thing. I mean, Canelo basically said it best. I mean, Chavez just needs to be quiet. Like, it's so dumb. Chavez has failed 3 times. Canelo has not failed once. So I don't know what Chavez is going off about, talking about, performance enhancing, not doing this just because it's urine instead of blood. Like, that's absolute nonsense. Like, who is he to say any of this? Like, he's tested positive and Canelo hasn't. So, I mean, keep to your lane. Other than that, there's not much else going on. Any other topics? Or actually, I do have a question. Where is Omar Figueroa Jr.? I haven't seen anything from him in, like, was it 2016 his last fight? Maybe 2015? I'm not sure.
Yo, gangsters get chubby and move to Miami. Now, listen, Clarkson, he did kind of turn promoter. We'll see. But his brother, I think it's Brandon Figueroa, is the one that's the new hot prospect, actually makes weight and stuff like that. We're going to go out to 916-806. First-time caller? First-time caller?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
First-time caller. Yep.
All right. How long have you been listening, sir?
Boxing Voice. Man, I've been listening pretty faithfully for the last about, I'll say, 6 months.
Oh, that's good.
I usually catch y'all on the YouTube. I ain't been catching y'all live. I usually catch y'all on YouTube, and I'll be listening to it at work.
All right,
I dialed in the number today to see what's happening.
Perfect. Well, I'm going to go ahead and play this first-time caller intro. We want you to obviously let us know your name and where you're calling from, and then jump into your call, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
It's Ishmael, your boy, calling live from Northern California, Sacramento. Boxing Voice, what's happening?
Ishmael, what's going on, brother? Talk to us, man. What's on your mind? You're watching this fight, Ricky Burns, Julius Indongo, title unification in the junior welterweight division.
I'm all over that fight, but first I gotta go back to what your boy was just talking about, how you went hard on Robert Easter Jr. Shafikov is the IBF mandatory, and Robert Easter Jr. is $100,000 or $150,000 purse type of guy, so he don't generate the step aside money, so he got to take on Shafikov. Shafikov is a pretty big deal in my eyes, because he put on a big fight with Barthélemy, came back and smashed Jamel Herring in July on ESPN. So we've seen him on TV twice, Spike TV, ESPN. Then he went over and did what he did to Richard Cormay. So he now back for another title shot. Then the other thing you went hard on Easter Jr. about was saying that he could fight Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell already in WBA eliminator with Yuriorkis Gamboa, lining him up to fight the champ there. And then Beltran is already fighting Jonathan Marcelo, who just beat Jose Felix Jr.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Jr. That's the top ranked dude that they was comparing. They was supposed to put him in. He was trying to get a shot with Felix Verdejo. So that's the top ranked dude. But Beltran is busy though. That's why I mentioned his name anyway though. As far as the Indongo and Burns fight, I just want to see a good fight because I'm looking to see what's going to happen after the fight, depending on who the winner is. Terence Crawford can get in there and unify the division and move on. And then they already got mandatory set up. Sergey Lipinets is the mandatory for that IBF belt. And then the winner, Career Relic and Francis Barthélemy is going to be the mandatory for the other belt. So once Terence Crawford unify that whole division and move up to welterweight, we can see some new dudes take over at 140. And then both of those two mandatories, I mean, if Barthélemy win and Sergey Lipinets win, that's two PBC dudes, since y'all been talking about the PBC today, which, like Info Joe said, I don't think it's going nowhere. They put on like 84 cards between 2015 and 2016. And even if you say they lost $2 million per card, which is not possible, that's still nowhere near $500 million, even if you include, say, $50 million for the time buys, which, you know, they still got through the rest of this year. So PBC ain't going nowhere. They got a lot of top contenders, a lot of champions. And the other thing I wanted to talk about, since it's my first time calling, y'all always talk about Triple G. It was a call the other day I was listening to him. Should he fight Canelo or not? I think he should wait around, see what's up with the Canelo fight. And I say that based on the fact that at this pace, Triple G could go the rest of his career and he'll have 0 Hall of Famers on his resume. So with that being said, he's not in the class of Marvin Hagler, who fought 4 Hall of Famers and beat 3 of them, in Mugabe, Duran, and Tommy Hearns.
Ishmael, I'm glad that you have been able to find the time to finally call in, my friend. That was a magnificent call. Kind of shut me down, right? Get all my little points I made about
all of them. And then he just went and smashed on like every Triple G fan for like the last like 2 years. Just being like, good point. No Hall of Fame fighters on his resume. And we all compare him like, oh, he's our modern day Marvin Hagler. Hey, I just want to do a quick update real quick. So in terms of Omar Figueroa, the last time Omar fought was all the way back in 2015 in December, when he got that unanimous decision in that war with Antonio DeMarco. His younger brother, Brandon Figueroa, is actually still an active fighter, and he has a fight scheduled April 25th against an opponent to be announced in Tunica, Mississippi. And going even further back to the lawsuit by Brazil versus Wilder, aka Bronze Bomber. Brazil, a quote from the TMZ article, Brazil says his younger child is afraid for his father's life and repeatedly asked if Deontay Morales were going to kill him. So he's really, it seems as though like a lot of this is kind of stirred up through the feelings that his family has towards the incident. Trey Lip Morrison, the son of former heavyweight title holder Tommy Morrison, he was scheduled to be on the Showbox card, it looks like, and Dan Raphael has a report on ESPN that he actually had to pull out due to a broken hand. And that's all the updates from Sugar Steve C. You're welcome, people. Give me the applause. Matt, where's my applause? Yeah.
Sit down, little bitch.
That's the exact opposite response I wanted.
He's such a hater, this guy.
Thank you so much.
Got the hater of the day. Quick question from the chat. Is the Spike deal being off a good thing for PBC or boxing? I don't think it's a bad thing, because this is the thing. There's so many other networks that PBC is still doing business that are not premium, Premium being, you know, like where you pay a monthly subscription, like HBO, Showtime, Stars, Cinemax, things like that. So, I think that the inception of PBC, there was always a plan to spread the product throughout, as far out, and then see which network is willing to pay for all of that, really, is what I think. And it seems that it's always going to be CBS and Showtime, essentially, right? Like the bigger fights get on. Well, really, it looks like NBC and CBS and Showtime are the ones that are sticking around.
Well, no, NBC
Fox has had good numbers
has
too.
also backed out of PBC. They've taken any PBC content off the website. as well. So they have not had an official stance on it, but it seems like NBC has backed out.
Well,
and
the
that ESPN article alludes to that.
According to the article, it says NBC Net. Go back and check it, producer.
Which is NBC.
Well, no, because remember that PBC was on 2. So you was on the good NBC, and then once that fight finished, you had to go to the other channel that was normally on their app, their website, or another NBC network channel, not the NBC channel 4. Go just check it.
If boxing was off of HBO Latino and HBO.com, would you say that it's boxing's no longer on HBO? Would that be an indicator of that? Like if all of a sudden that happened?
No, because
if you look on NBC.com, hold on, Steven, can you look on NBC.com and see if boxing's on there?
Per your analogy, if it's not on HBO Latino or HBO.com, no, that means shit, because HBO has always put their boxing on Championship Boxing or After Dark, where it should be.
No, there's been plenty of cards on HBO Latino.
I'm sure there's been plenty.
This
but
upcoming card with Sullivan Barrera is going to be on HBO Latino, I believe.
Absolutely, but that's not where the majority or the bulk of their boxing content goes. They rarely use it. They used it for guys like Oscar Valdez. They've used it for Joseph Diaz in the past. They're using it for Barrera, but they use it for Latin fighters who they are keen on. But it's all good. Listen, let's go to Ali and Dago. What up?
What up, Boxing Voice? What's happening? I'm going to make it short and sweet, man. I'm going with Indongo by 3rd round knockout. So, yeah, I'm going Indongo by 3rd round knockout. Then people are going to start talking about Crawford versus Indongo. And that's the way I see it, Boxing Voice. Keep up the good work.
Ali, thanks for the kind words. Thanks for calling in. Let's get to our Patreon boomerang out there. Mr. Compa was just listening. We'll go from boomerang to boomerang. Mr. Yes, sir. What up?
All right. I wasn't too sure, like, I'm fucking Anaheim. I'm in LA, man. Yes, I wasn't too sure if that LA was my song or not. So I was puzzled. Hey, I'm hearing everyone just talk about Indongo and Burns. What are other topics?
Sullivan Barrera versus Paul Parker. It's also happening this weekend. Then we got Dmitry Bivol versus Samuel Clarkson happening Friday. Jezreel Corrales signed to Golden Boy, multi-year deal at 130 pounds. He's the super WBA champion, the true WBA champion. Then also we have the PBC news. And Calderon brought up a few other topics.
All right, so the only really headline fight is the one everyone's talking about. Okay. I'm going with Indongo. I like the shock he's adding to boxing. Ricky Burns, I put him in the category of Cotto. It's like, I guess a B minus, that you beat who you're supposed to beat, but you never excel the challenge. Every time Cotto got in the ring to like an A or someone better than him, he always lost. And I think Ricky Burns is the same way. And I think he's getting up there. And I think Indongo is going to ride this wave and just put him out. And fuck it. Let's see the Crawford versus the mystery man Indongo. He's coming with power. He's looking the part. And everyone loves that mystery. And why not just fucking ride this shock? He could shock him. And I'm liking the thing you think about the Golden Boy signing guy. Because to be honest, I don't know who he is, but I hear you guys talk about him a lot. And anytime someone puts that type of money in, sounds like that motherfucker got to be kind of good. So I'll start to look out for him. That's good news. I'll let it go on to next callers. Keep it up.
Mr. Yes, sir. Great call as always, brother. Thank you for calling in. Remember to let us know when you're ready to come back on that boomerang status. Thank you for supporting us on Patreon. We're going to go out to Boston, 518-209. 518-209. Who's this?
Oh, this is Antonio. What the fuck, Boston?
Ain't
They have
five.
to change my number again, bro. And it's saying Boston.
Well,
It's from Albany.
says 518 over here. Ain't that Boston?
Nah, that's Albany. Saying something from Albany. Nah, for yo. So I got put my bell on. I got 3 minutes. I just want to talk my shit. Yo, so I got some good news and bad news about the boxing voice. Which one to hear first?
Hey, that's your 3 minutes, buddy.
Well, first off, the good news is great fucking interview. You dead ass you got skills on the mic, especially with the fucking questions tonight. So that's why, I'm like, I love good content. That's why I got you on Patreon, and dead ass stuff. Like, you're really good. That's why I want to keep you, keep supporting. You got good shit. It's like fucking Netflix or Hulu where anyone can just pay, and just, support. So, and then the bad news is I fucking miss boxing MD, man. What the fuck? Like, that ass, like, it should be about fucking family. This boxing shit, just fucking boxing. It's not personal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys, like, it should be fucking all family. Just straight up, real talk. Like, and then fucking was fucking having those fucking border wars. He's not gonna be in a fucking fight. That shit nutty.
Friday, baby.
Yeah, man.
Big announcement on Friday. Don't worry. Big announcement on Friday. TBV always saves the day. Listen, before TBV, you never expected any podcast to do half the things that we've done. Friday, all your answers will be, all your questions will be answered, and all your worries will dissipate. They'll be gone. No
All
more.
right, man. So before I go, so yeah, I got Ricky Burns this weekend. I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like he has a few more fights in him, because he's at 140, right? So, I mean, I can really see a rematch with Crawford if he wins this fight, which I think he will. You know what I'm saying? That'd be another great fight, a fucking rematch. And I feel like Ricky Burns might give him a good fight this time around, but maybe not because, Crawford gets better in each fight. So, but yeah. But fuck, man, what else? What else is the topic, man? Like,
Yo, Matt just said that
like,
you got 3 Antonios in Albany on our list, bro. Like, how many phones you got, kid? What's going on?
Yo, so I got Boost Mobile, right? And I just fucking changed my number because I used to get fucking crazy ass phone calls. So like, fuck it, let me just change my number. I didn't know if fucking said Boston. But yeah, just put me down right there. That's my number. But that's about it, man. Yo, it's gonna be a good ass fucking 2017 for boxing, man. Like,
It's gonna be an even better June 2017 for TBV. Listen, Antonio, I'm out. Let me get to some other callers. We're gonna go out to Orlando, where there will be rumblings come June 5th through the 9th. 407-433. First time caller?
Yes, I am first time caller.
That's Monster Piece's friend.
Okay. So how long have you been listening?
I'm Anne Marie. I've been listening to you guys for like 3 years or so.
Wow. Oh, and I seen that you're a patron too. So really quick, I just want to thank you for that.
Answer's always in the chat.
And you're always in the chat. I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes I seen your your icon, your avatar, and I'm like, oh, that's not a real woman. But the woman demographic is coming out. The statistics do not lie, Matt. That 46%, 48% just keeps jumping out more and more. I bumped into someone in Lomachenko fight. She eventually called in. Now look, Anna Marie just called in. Perfect. So talk to us. What's on your mind? Actually, wait. First time calling. We got to give you the intro. You got to tell us your name, where you're calling from, all that good stuff. So let me go to that. Ready? Set.
Okay. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Oh shit! I forgot we got to get the woman one. I'm sorry about that. That's Matt. That's Matt's fault.
It's okay.
No, it's not. Don't blame me. You're the one in charge of this.
Well, we could do a brand new one right here live. I'm down to do it. Let me do it live.
We're gonna get Sugar Steve to do a specific one just for you. unique, tailored just for Anna Marie. Ready? Go, Steve.
Ladies and gentlemen, making her professional debut, here is
Anne Marie.
Hailing from
Queens, New York.
Okay, we got a New Yorker in the house, so talk to us. Sorry we put you through all those antics. Trying to make it fun for you.
It's okay. No, I just wanted to congratulate you guys with the show. It's awesome. I've been listening to you guys for a long time, especially today that you guys had women boxers in there. That was great for us women that listen. And coming to the fights, I'm going to go with Indongo and so what is it? Barrera. The other fights I have no idea.
All right. Well, as a listener for 3 years, I mean, any specific fight you want to talk
what's
about?
up Border Wars not having women fighting?
Oh, you want a women's fight
Why
on
don't
Border
you have
Wars?
women on the Border Wars.
Listen, because we could not find anyone. I'm gonna tell you a secret, right? You're a patron, so you already see how good Steve looks in the ring. And as a boxer, imagine his woman. And we just couldn't find anyone to sign the dotted line to fight. Elizabeth, pray to God, Delgado. You know what I'm saying? She's like, no way. People are scared. They're scared. But whenever a woman is ready, she's ready.
Yo, no bullshit. Let me tell you something. So Marlene Esparza was out here training, right? I think she was out there in Oakland at King's Gym. The girl that used to train my girl, she reached out to Liz saying, hey, Marlene Esparza is having trouble looking for sparring. Would you be interested? And my girl was like, I don't know, Steve, what should I do? Should I go there and spar there? I'm like, yo, do what you want to do. But I guess it just didn't match up with her time because she's a personal trainer. So a lot of her schedule is kind of already booked. And during those peak hours when most athletes like to train, she's training, regular everyday people. And she just couldn't block out her schedule in time. But
I would have said, no way, Jose. I don't want my girl getting beat up.
My girl's a tough chick.
Yo, Esparza's a pro, bro.
Yeah, she's got some flaws.
So you picking pray to God Delgado, huh?
Versus the world.
There you go. And so I'm telling you, we're just waiting for someone to decide on the dotted line, and we'll have Elizabeth on the card.
Okay. I would say I would sign on the dotted line, but nah. Not because I'm scared.
So any other subjects you want to talk about?
That's about it. And you guys keep up the good work.
Thank you so much for calling in. Truly appreciate the females starting to call in, man. Those statistics, they're really coming true right before our eyes. We appreciate everyone actually listening. So any other topics, guys, that we need to touch on? We got through all our callers. It's a slow week, man. Poor Ricky Burns doesn't get the name recognition that he deserves. If he wins this fight, he'll be in a big fight with Terence Crawford, possibly. I'm assuming there would be no other direction for Ricky Burns to go. It would be the perfect cash-out swan type of song, right? If he can win this, I know you're picking against him, Matt, but if he can win this, he gets that last hurrah song fight, on the way out versus Crawford. I think he should just come back over. He's been here versus Omar. Take whatever he's going to get versus Crawford on HBO to unify the division. And this would be for undisputed because all five are there. Like even, the one that Chris Eubank loves.
Mr. Yester boomerang backed in, by the way.
Did he really? He got lucky. I was about to throw on a beat. I don't know who he is because my producer ain't put his name, so I don't know which one you talking about.
Mr. Yes, sir.
Who was that? Who's that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was listening. I timed that shit good. I wait for them to chit chat, then I boomerang back. All right, since you guys are through with calls, I'll come with the off-topic thing. You know that Bronner and Davis thing, that whole beef? Did you guys ever think that all three of them are in cahoots, and it's just like Davis selling his O off to the big homie for a big paycheck?
Nah.
Just like Kell Brook, and he still comes down.
I can see two of them in cahoots in combinations, but I can't see all three in cahoots.
No, not based off the things that Tank said. I think that he feels the jealousy is real.
Like I said, it could be like a little beef deck. It could be like some small beef. Like, you know what? It's not that serious. Let's fight. In actuality, we're gonna fight. We're gonna squash this, and we all get fucking paid. And you,
yeah,
and
but you know what, Mr. Yes Sir? The details are this, man. Tank came out. He already said 2018, and that right there left a sour taste in my mouth because you don't start building up a fight today for next fucking. Well, I guess Canelo and Triple G did that, right? If everything happens in September, that's how that one worked up.
That's why I think it's kind of phony. Like it's that one little thing like with Farmer. I mean, Tevin Farmer also with Mayweather hits the phone call. It's like they planned this watch fight. He got this watch fight, but then they planned this Farmer, and then they planned this Broner big paycheck, and that's like a whole year done, promoted already, and the fans accept it. You ain't got to worry about no Lomachenko troubles, no other problems, because this whole year is already planned. Like I said, I know you like the conspiracies.
No, I love a conspiracy.
It could be a.
I love one, but I don't know. You know, I think it's a little bit real. I know that these guys have worked with Barry Hunter together. They've been in that Headbangers gym. You know, I feel that there can be some sort of rivalry there. I can feel that they've probably shared the gym throughout certain training camps. I think that you know, Gravanta has heard the chatters and the rumors from, you know, mutual friends who said Broner said one or two good or bad things about him. I think that he believes this. I think that it could build, you know, thinking the way that Gennady and Saul Canelo Alvarez built their fight, maybe a 2018 fight with these guys or something to look forward between these guys is not a bad thing. The problem is going to be it'll never happen at junior lightweight. Excuse me, did that mistake twice today. Never happened at junior welterweight in 2018 unless Adrian Broner joins Jenny Craig starting right now.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just wanted to run that by you. I like conspiracies too, so fuck it.
All right.
You guys have a good one. I know I kept you guys.
No problem, brother. No problem. Always good, and definitely always want to stick around for any boomerang to give you guys your total perks. I want to remind all my memorabilia guys, don't forget that you guys have a ringer, man. So contact me on Patreon and let me know, send me your number so that we can set you up with the producer and you can skip this line because you know you guys are definitely ringers. I want to remind everybody that there will be a very, very special evening show. What we said, we confirmed 10 o'clock, was it, or 10:30? What did we say?
I think it's better. Yeah, we said 10, but we'd also pick around 10:30 with casual. So
we'll have it scheduled as early as possible, meaning it will be scheduled. You will see what time it would actually start. But the show should be somewhere around 10 to 11:30 Eastern time. Around that time will be the time that, you know, we would possibly be going live with this specific show to discuss details, you know, about certain things. So who is chatting what?
Oh, I just wanted to clear something up real quick from what we discussed earlier in the show in terms of PBC and NBC. So Dan Raphael alluded in his ESPN article that NBC was, quote, essentially finished with the PBC. So it seems as though they are kind of drawing back from a lot of other networks, and they will be focusing on a couple specific outlets that have done really good with them. I looked at their schedule, and they have 5 fights scheduled on PBC on their fight schedule right now. 3 of them are on Showtime. Excuse me, 5 cards. 3 cards are on Showtime. 2 are on Fox Sports 1. I never really was a big fan of them being at a bunch of other outlets. I could see why some people see it that this is hurting them and could be bad for the sport. But I hated that being all kinds of outlets because you couldn't keep up with it. Like, thank goodness for that schedule that they had where you could download it onto your calendar, because it was the only way you can keep up with all of them.
Wasn't it cool? That was cool to get those alerts, though.
Yeah.
Like, oh, PBC about to come on. You're like, damn.
I hated when they had shows on Spike, because guess what? You know how, like, over there it airs at 10 o'clock and then over here it airs at 7? Well, they didn't do that. Over there it would air at 9 o'clock, and then they would wait, and we had to watch like a recording at 9 o'clock over here as well. So we couldn't watch it live on the West Coast. It was horseshit. I really, really didn't like it. So in terms of them losing Spike, I don't really mind it. And in terms of them kind of losing as many networks, I could see it being a bad thing. But I'm curious to see how it kind of affects them going forward. Maybe we get stronger cards.
Let me get to Jose. Josue, you don't get a normal call, man. You're calling in very late.
Yo, what up, man? Hey, real quick, whatever happened to Soulja Boy versus Chris Brown?
Are you serious? Mayweather pulled the plug.
Bum ass dude, man. Whatever. All right, cool. Thanks, brother.
All right. Really quick, I just want to give a quick shout out really quick to Alex Lemon, doing a magnificent job on the social media tip on Instagram. He's already climbing up to the 19,000 plus. Dude, since this guy's grabbed it, it's grown in about 3,000 followers from all the content. I mean, amazing. Keeping the podcast up there, making sure that the world knows, and truly engaging with the people, man. So if any questions you guys have about the show or you want asked on the show, you could always add us on Instagram. Alex Lemon makes sure that we get all that information in a timely fashion. You guys had another question or something? I kind of heard something. Did I talk over one of you? No? Yes, maybe so. No? Well, then, my name is Nestor Gibbs, and you can catch me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. Unlike Matt, the cigarette smoker hunter, I'm really putting in the miles, Come fight week, I don't know what Matt is going to do. Puffing away. And there's a big announcement tomorrow. The stakes are high now. That's all I want to say. That's Ness. Call me ASAP. Okay, Monster. That's what's going on. The stakes have risen now. So you want to find out what's going on Friday, tomorrow, late night, 10 Eastern, something like that. I'm Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter. And my hosts.
You can find me at Mixed Combat News on Twitter, my MMA podcast, Mixed Combat Radios on Patreon, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, etc. Peace.
And I am Steven Calderon. You can follow me on Instagram at sugar_steve.c, and you can find me on Twitter at Calderon92. And don't forget to go check us all out on Patreon. If you're not part of Patreon, you're messing up.
True.